Portugal, the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest 2022 sees the best qualifiers from Europe convene along the fair shores of Lisbon, Portugal, to bring you some scintillating surfing competition. A couple of weeks on the QE in Portugal coming up. We're very much looking forward to it. First day competition this morning here at Caparica. And here to break it all down for you, alongside myself, Paul Evans. I'm joined by Ben Mundy, surfing expert and savant, and also local legend and emerging star of the stand-up comedy scene, Chico Alves. How are we doing, fellas?
Very well, thanks, Paul. What a great place to be alive. The QS is back in Portugal. We've got a big run of events, and we've got small waves, we've got great people, we've got great surfers. I'm very excited.
Chico, Caparica, home for you. You spent a lot of time here when you were just a wee slip of a lad. How exciting is it to see the qualifiers back here, mate?
It's amazing. I think we've got clean conditions. The waves look a little bit small, but I think it's clean, surfable, and we're going to see great surfing. So
yeah,
excited.
Let's think about that forecast that we're looking at for the week, Ben. A little bit of everything, classic QS fare.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of this part of the world, is that it handles pretty much anything. So it's small today, but it's just about rideable. So we're going to run, I think, and then tomorrow's looks quite small. Then it builds up during the rest of the week. Chico's probably the expert on that type of stuff, but we've got waves coming throughout the rest of the week into the weekend. And then for next week, we go up to Santa Cruz as well. So, yeah, we've got waves. Just a bit of a slow start, I'd say.
Well, just in case anyone is slightly unfamiliar with where exactly we are, Chico, just tell us, what's Caparica all about? Where are we? What is it?
So we are just across the bridge from Lisbon, south. We are the first beach next to Lisbon, so it's quite close to it, like 10 minutes away, 15 minutes away. And, it's a long coast of, piers. With waves everywhere until Fonte da Telha. So it's quite long, and we've got plenty of option here in Costa.
I like how when you fly into Lisbon, if you ever had the opportunity, which we've been lucky enough to over the years, to fly into Lisbon, you sort of go straight out up the river almost, where the harbour is at Lisbon, and you come back in, you go straight over Caparica. You can even check out the little contest scene as you fly in. You check out the banks, which groins are working. It's really, probably Caparica is one of the first things you see when you fly into Lisbon.
Yeah, the pilots do like to dip the wings over the rights and lefts of Caparica, so we'll pick up some vision of some of our athletes. Just doing some prep surfing. We're a few minutes away from starting here this morning. We're going to get going, I believe, around about 8:30 local time, so around about 10 minutes to go. But some warm-ups down this morning, just from what we've seen from conditions and the size of it, it looks pretty clean. Quite a brisk offshore, Ben. That might be a little bit of a challenge in terms of getting much power out of these waves.
Yeah, they're it's the tide's going to be a factor. Low tide, I think, will help with that. Add a bit more punch, but yeah, the offshore breeze is going to be probably very few airs. Not a lot of power in this little swell, the tail end of the swell, but there's little peaks. These greens help sort of punch it up and provide a few little wedges.
Chico, what's your board of choice this morning, mate? You going for the epoxy? You going for the foamy?
10-8.
For the stand-up? What do you think?
No, I think epoxy for sure. Like a smaller board, epoxy with a lot of volume. I can tell by the conditions that looks a little bit soft, as you said. With the low tide might help, but nonetheless, it's a small day. You need that epoxy or that really wide board to help you out.
Tell you it's not small or soft, but it's quite wide. It's Robbie D'Amico. He's a strapping Italian, a powerhouse. Dropped some bomb clips from this winter.
He's on
getting
fire.
Some serious tubes in the form of his life, that boy. But he's got a tough heat coming up this morning. Let's take a look at it. We'll see Charlie Martin of France, Ian Costa from Brazil, Roberto D'Amico, the Italian, Nilton Freitas from Portugal, from right here in Caparica. So unusual to see Charlie early on, or is it unusual? It looks like he's got a few rounds to get through to get himself into where his seeding would normally have him. Maybe a late entry from him.
He's one of Europe's best surfers and has proved it over the last decade. Come very close to qualifying for the CT via the Challenger Series over the last few years. But surfing the first round means there's been some type of administrative error. I'd hesitate to guess. He's maybe got his ticket in late, and that means he's had to surf in the first round.
Well, just speaking of late entries, we actually saw him surfing the slab up in Coches in Estrella on that big swell,
God,
didn't we, back in December? Let's pick up Robbie D'Amico. We're underway here, actually, so an early start. D'Amico with a little clip off the top from him, and it'll get things rolling. So just 20-minute heats, 4 surfers out in the water. I think we could see some very high wave counts, and we're excited. QS is back. It's been a long time.
There's nothing quite like that first wave of the round of 136 to really get the blood pumping. And yeah, Robbie straight up into it. He's been on a bit of a roll, hasn't he, Robbie, the Italian? I was lucky enough. Well, I wasn't lucky enough to be in the booth at the CT, Paul, as you were.
No, well,
you had a front row seat.
yeah.
I had a bit more of a back sort of row, peripheral, sort of pop my head above the bigger lads, the bigger boys. But we went surfing the day after the event finished, and he got one of the longest tubes I've seen in a long, long time, Robbie. Probably like a 6-second tube at Balear. It was amazing. I had a front row seat. He goes, Charlie, not getting that one. And then he went up to Italy, did a no contest sort of little gig for with him and Leo and Laura Enova. So yeah, Robbie's been busy. He's got a big profile. I love it because he's one of the nicest guys in surfing.
A big smile on the dial of D'Amico. Let's see how he goes in this, which is going to be a tough feat. And a lot of surfing yet to bring you, by my calculations, 102 fantastic surfing heats this week at the Estrella, Galicia, Caparica Surf Fest. Of course, just part one of a thriller of a doubleheader in Portugal. We'll head up to Santa Cruz, about an hour north up the coast as well. So a lot can happen here. And we don't have a whole long time to go before Challenger Series kick off. Let's check out Nilton Freitas wiggling down the line. He'll slap one off the top. And a second turn from him. And unfortunately, doesn't get the completion on the second turn, but he looks quite light on his feet and sprightly in the early morning, kind of semi-gloom. But yeah, we're not a long way from dialing down those names for Challenger Series action, Ben.
That's right, yeah. So the top 10 athletes from each region get to surf in the big rated Challenger Series events. There's one in Portugal at Aracira, obviously, end of the year. Then in France, there's one in the Gold Coast as well in May. So yeah, it's all getting to that, this is the nitty-gritty where we get to decide which 10 Europeans will be competing for their territory on that Challenger Series. And Francisco, what are you thinking, mate? Like, is this the year that Europeans can sort of crack that CT code?
Where's the Portuguese push coming from? That's what I want to know on the Challenger Series. Vasco, obviously, flying high.
Yeah, I think we've got Vasco. We've got Afonso too. I think they need to step it up in terms of results, but they've got the potential. We've got Guilherme Ribeiro. I really like his surfing. He just did second on the nationals. He has been surfing really good. Joaquim Chaves too. It's just like a new coming boys that I think they can have a crack
and then, of course,
Challenger Series.
Teresa and Yolanda on the women too.
Yeah, on the women's side, we've got Teresa Mafalda Lopes, Yolanda. And yeah, they've been reaping, like Kika Veselk too. They've been surfing really well. They did really well in Israel too. So yeah, on the women's side, we've got a couple more options making it. And then on the men's side, I think we've got the Vasco, which is the principal right now to have the chance to make it. And then we've got a bunch of other surfers that have been surfing really good over the last year, I think.
Oh, we will see Vasco Ribeiro in this competition, but not coming into the round of 64. And at the moment, with several rounds to get through before they get there, I think they've got to make 3 to get that far. Is Charlie Martin with a little 3 locked in early on. No real big numbers coming in. Looks like pretty quick one maneuver type of waves. Just while we're gathering information and finding out exactly what's going on in the sort of HQ in terms of making all the big calls, Joanna Garnell, she's a roving reporter. She's with Hugo Pinheiro.
Good morning, guys. Good morning, Hugo. It's great to be back, and it's great to have you back as our contest director. How's the event?
It's starting, yeah. As you see, it's offshore, some little waves, I think perfect for conditions for run the first round. So hopefully the wind also slowed down during the day, and it's easier for them. So yeah, let's round 1 men's start now, then women's, and then if we have chance, we go to men's again.
Okay, great. Very excited for today. Thank you very much, and back to you guys.
Thank you, Joanna. Thanks, Hugo. Local legend, knows this wave inside out. Here goes looking for a section. D'Amico, a couple of hits from him. And a little grimace on the end. Better stuff. Got the completion. Being quite a solid gentleman yourself, Chico, what are some of the keys to surfing well in small waves? Staying light on your feet, how do you do it?
Yeah, I think you don't need to...
If you don't mind me saying you're a bigger gentleman, that's okay.
I am big. So yeah, Robbie here, making sure he gets 2 turns in, which he did really well. And as you said, it looks hard to get speed. And I think the main thing in this type of conditions, when you're really tall and heavy, is just like to surf really light on your feet. Just don't put too much pressure on your rail, and just surf like through the wave. Not
Keep your bum over the board.
yeah,
That's
just
a great
surfing
tip.
on your toes.
Great tip from me. What do you think, Ben?
Surfing on your toes.
Just illustrated your lack of technical ability, I would say.
Freitas with a quick in and out of his own, and these heats are going to fly by just the 20 minutes. Over 14 remaining in this. D'Amico with a couple of scores dialed in. It's all about survival out there. They're just getting through these early ones. And we have a massive couple of weeks of competition. As we heard just mentioned previously, Israel was our last QS event for the European region, which was an event with a really long waiting period, almost longer than a CT waiting period, really. Not blessed with swell this time out, that particular event, but a big win for Ramzi Boukhiam of Morocco, and he's in great form.
Yeah, one of those surfers that is obviously so talented and has just struggled to sort of put that talent into the competitive package over the years. He has little moments, little flashes, little highlights. But yeah, so off to a really great start. Big win for him. And yeah, he's been putting in the hard work, and I think it's paying off. So Ramsey will be a big danger over the next couple of
Could this
heats.
be his year on the Challengers?
It could well be. I just think as soon as you get him in quality surf against quality competitors, he more than holds his own. And I think he's as good as any of those tops, some of those bottom reaches of the CT at least. And yeah, I'm backing him. I think this could be his year.
Speaking of the CT, guys, how excited are we about Bells kicking off soon? And then, of course, Margaret River as well. We excited?
Absolutely. We miss Bells. We sort of it's been off the tour for the last couple of years due to the restrictions in Australia and the COVID. So sort of been a bit of a gap. I think it's quite nice to just have a bit of a break from. It has been 84 years sort of continuous. So having a bit of a fallow year like they do at Glastonbury almost. I think when we come back there, it's going to be pretty exciting. So I got a soft spot for Bells and Charlie Martin. There's a quality there. Just the only person we've seen just generating him to spray and just falls off. Yeah, we did talk about that. We sort of mentioned that little sort of surf session we watched Charlie Martin surf a couple of years. When that was October last year.
No, it was after Nazaré in December.
That's right, December. And I tell you what, as we see Ian Costa, that Brazilian, getting high and up there, a bit of a Maxine Houston kind of look like there. But yeah, Charlie, we rocked up. It was the day after the Nazaré contest, so that probably showed you that there was a bit of size about. And Kocius was
10 foot swell.
Let's call Kocius 10 foot, like to an edge, massive, clean, pumping. Let's just gloss over the fact that I couldn't get out the back, because that's not the story we want to talk about. But we turned up.
Jumped off the rocks and quite soon after found himself back on the rocks.
I really did. And I watched Charlie Martin in the space of like my rock hopping, jumping, straping, cut feet, get out, do it again, gamut. He caught about 4 waves
On the slabby bit up the top of the
point.
point.
What's that called that?
Don't know.
I don't know too.
The very end bit, and
gnarly.
it was 10 foot.
Everyone calls it Kocius anyway.
Yeah.
It was 10 foot and just absolute. And then he was
Closing out.
closing out onto dry rock, and he was on his own, just getting absolutely spat out and then just kicking out. It was a really impressive display of big wave slab riding. I thought I bowed down to the Charlie Martin at that stage. So he's got that in his locker. He's such a complete surfer. He'd be kicking himself. He's in the round of 136 in these little small waves, because you'd really be hating to get an early exit just in these conditions, and you didn't really have to.
Ian Costa in the lead right now. Not massive numbers on the board as we get towards the halfway point. Here goes Charlie Martin. Of course, we're going to take 2 of these surfers through and putting a bit of vim and vigour in. And he will try and waft that tail. And it will be an incompletion. You can just see how strong that offshore wind is. So that sluggishness of the swell, just kind of lacking a little bit of power. That's basically... There's a hacking northeast wind, which is basically sort of blown across all of Europe. I mean, this wind it's following us as we drove down. There's a following wind in the car as we drove down from France.
Nice,
so that saved a little bit of diesel, which is always important in these times. Nice tailwind. But yeah, it is a brisk wind, and it's making this swell really clean. But it's also making it really soft, guys.
Yeah, well, that nor'east is bringing that cold air from up the north, isn't it? And even I flew down from the UK, and you go across to Spain, across the mountain range. A lot of snow on the mountains. It's quite late in the year for that. So there's a brisk cold offshore.
Did you get the aisle? Get the aisle seat?
I had a window.
Stuck in.
Ooh, exit.
Okay.
Window exit.
Wow.
That's the way I roll. And
Yeah, but you can't have your coat on your lap, can you? It's got to be in stowed in an overhead locker.
I don't play by the rules, Paul. I just draped it over my little lap.
Did they come and ask if, in the event of an emergency, you were willing to assist people?
I said no.
No chance.
I
Save
said,
yourself.
Every man.
First rule
every
of
man for
life saving:
themselves.
save yourself.
Yeah, I was like, look, I don't know. Actually, interesting or not, the employee came over and told me about the exit seats. So Robbie trying to get an exit out of this wave. Don't know if he's going to get it. Oh, he's working hard.
Yeah.
There we go. And she says the main thing is to stop the fire. She told me. I was
It's
like,
it.
well, how do I stop a fire? So
Dive on it, mate, like a grenade.
Use my jacket. But yeah, bit of cold wind, and yeah, just pushing that swell back. It's sort of is a bit protected, this sort of corner, isn't it? Chicago, good winter spot, but sort of you need a bit of swell to get in here, right? Is that true?
Yeah, I think Costa holds a lot of winds. I think even when it's a stormy day, you can always have fun here. It's something I love about Costa. Is like it's south wind, west wind, whatever. If there's waves, you can surf, which is really nice. It's not like a spot that doesn't hold too much wind. It can be a lot of storm around, and you can manage to get like a rip bow left out of like a 6-foot wave out the back. Like, yeah, and it's really fun because of that.
Here goes Costa, live action on the backhand. Got a decent bit of speed, and that wave will run away. We're going to see a fair bit of that. Those little zippers on that inside. Moving quickly. What have we got in terms of scoreboards? D'Amico right now, hold on to the lead. Costa's in second. Martin doesn't need a big number, just a 2.93. Overall, Chico, that's been a good winter in Portugal, right? It's been blessed with swell and some nice winds throughout the winter, pretty much.
Yeah, we had like a month of firing waves. Everyone was quite tired of surfing. Everyone was like, come on, wind, please turn. Everyone got really good waves all across Portugal. I think from Algarve to Porto, I think everyone got checked in like a month time. So yeah, we've got some really good waves. And yeah, it looks like it's not going to stop. We see some swell coming in for the Calm 2 around Saturday, I think, which is really good for them. I saw some south wind, but even though it's not that strong on the Saturday, so I think it can be really fun over here.
Charlie Martin having a swing, just looking for that high 2. And he's getting...
He made the final here? Did he win? No, he made the final here, I think, last
He
time.
got second and Ruben Vittoria won.
Yeah, Ruben Vittoria. So he made the final here the last time we held it, met in Caparica. So he's got form at this beach. Yeah, just doing whatever it takes just get back in this game. He's in third place. Score coming in might elevate him. But this is the time to just grit your teeth, get through it, do whatever it takes.
Goes to second, gets the 3.43. So he goes up into second place behind the Italian, Roberto D'Amico. That's how it's standing up with just over 6 to go, but it's anyone's game, really. Here goes Freitas. Needs a 4.66. Going to have a small right-hander. Doesn't have a whole lot of room to move. And that's not overly convincing. And he knows he's going to need better stuff than that, but a wide open heat here. And anyone really with a shot at this. Costa the threat now really to Charlie in second. As we see preparation going down. Catch waves. Hit it hard. Do big turns.
Top 2.
Be the best version of yourself.
This guy rips.
Just be yourself.
Samuel Ego. Yeah, a goofy footer from Brazil.
Yeah, he's epic.
We've seen some
He
ego
rips.
action over the years, haven't we?
Yeah.
Likes to take to the airs.
Let's check out the recap. Our first heat of the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surfest 2022. D'Amico doing good work early
first
on.
wave of the event, Paul. Do you reckon we're going to look back at this event at the end of Sunday and remember that wave as the start of a beautiful week? Fighting hard. There's a little bit of the snap. And yeah, he's staying busy. Got himself a lead, albeit a very small one.
Here, Charlie trying to reply. He was quite behind on this hit, and he got this one, which he got a 3.43 to come back. So yeah, Charlie coming back, which is nice.
As you can see, some of that wind whipping in the Bay of Lisbon out the back. Nice and protected between our jetties here. And some waves on offer for those able to find the best of the opportunities, but it is about being selective.
talking about the next generation, João Maria Mendonça is one of the best up-and-coming kids.
We're talking about Hallie Batusta.
What?
Yeah.
No. Hallie Batista is older than João Maria Mendonça, but yeah, João is part of that group that I think it can crack those challengers quite soon. I think we've got Matias Canhoto too. So we've got quite a wide pack of young boys coming up. Every time I think I remember another name, I'll be like 6 o'clock, I'm saying names.
Look at that. But I tell you what, that group there, the time is now, isn't it? They've been sort of around the talented Roms out, and they've sort of been on the scene, went through the junior ranks, just been now into the sort of senior ranks for a couple of years. So although they're young, and it's probably, now's the time they've got to start to maybe, put some bigger results on, do you think? Like it's time to make their potential count.
Yeah, if you look back in time, we had Vasco and Kikas with probably the same age.
Who are they?
Frederico.
Oh, yeah.
And Vasco. They were probably doing the same thing with their age, but like cracking like some really decent results. So I think they have good role models to look up to and say, okay, if I'm 16 or 17, I'm not that young, and I have to start making big results in these type of competitions. And yeah, I think that's the mindset you need to have as a young competitor. I think Gabriel did that pretty well.
How's Kikas going to go in Australia?
Bells and Margies, I would say.
Surf to survive.
I would say.
Right, needs results.
I would say there is probably, two of the ways that suit him the most. So, yeah, I reckon he's probably due a result. Out one, if not both of those. But, yeah, as you say, needs to pull something out of the bag. The cut-off is coming.
Leo as well, fellow Italian, Robbie's mate. Needs to get his skates on. Let's see what happens. Exciting times on the CT. Ever scintillating on the QS, though. As we see Costa have a little look and realise not a lot going on in there.
Margaret River feel about it to that wave. Yeah. The cut-off's going to add some intrigue, isn't it? Like we always often talked, Paul, ad nauseum about trying to add some jeopardy to the surfing tour. I think this cut-off might do that. Some of those third round heats that might be Kikash versus Leo, and winner goes on, kicks on.
Looking forward to G-Land, Ben?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. A bit of a mixed sort of field, mixed emotions.
Yeah.
Sort of got a bit of a love that place. I sort of wanted to keep it as is.
Keep it secret spot.
Keep it a secret spot because no one knows about it.
Yeah.
And I very rarely mention it in dispatches. But it's going to be really exciting going back there. There's so many facets that way. So I think we might see a lot of different, bit more high performance action than people might be expecting, or we might get that legendary speedies run, and that would just be
10-foot speedies.
Oh my God, bring it on!
Ooh, what's Costa got here? Here he goes. Big bottom turn. Great looking hit from him. Whoa, and he tags it. Best wave of the heat so far. Could well be.
See Charlie Martin in the back looking onto that.
Ooh, spicy. So, just over a minute to go, and Costa 3.43 the requirement. I reckon he's got that all day long. And Charlie Martin now could be needing a number. Let's see where this goes. And we like it when things fire up at the end of a heat.
He just found a corner, didn't he, Chico? And once you get that little corner, he opened up and just surfed it well, didn't he? Didn't make any mistakes.
Yeah, I think this was the first wave of we saw with like a 5 potential, like the wave had power in it, and he could actually generate proper speed, and that's why he got this 5.33, well deserved from Ian.
Goes to first. This is Nilton Freitas having a say of his own, so hitting it hard a couple of times. There's a third turn, so squeezing the juice right at the end of this one. What's Charlie Martin got, Ben?
He's got a backhand attack. That's his go-to. There's 2 turns, so you know what? That's experience, and he's done enough there, I think, but he's not happy. And I'll tell you, if he doesn't get through this...
I think that might be relief, though, he's feeling there.
Yeah, and then
Let's
out
see.
the back, Robbie. So what? So a lot going on. I'll tell you what, if Charlie doesn't get through that, you might get the old stompy, the feet in the competitors area.
Floorboards, couldn't we? The echo of the floorboards.
Actually, I'd be out there tightening that scaffolding now, just giving a few extra wrenches.
Get the Allen key out.
Get the Allen key out. Give it the Charlie Martin wrench.
We've got scores to come in for everybody, so just hold the phone right now, Surf World. I know you're on the edge of your seat. You're on tenterhooks. Numbers to come in for everyone. Crucial numbers as well. Charlie Martin trying to stay in this competition. He's got a lot around to get through to get up to where he would automatically be had he got his entry in on time. Just remember, kids out there, on time means late. Always best to be slightly early if possible. Let's check out the replay of D'Amico and let's see what he brought to the table with this left.
Yeah, big first snap, another one, and he gets a turn, which was really well served from D'Amico.
Looked a bit tired on that wave, didn't he?
Yeah, on the last turn, but it was hard to serve. The wave looked...
Charlie, number in, goes to first, the 6-5 for Martin, crucially. Costa goes to second. It's all wrapped up. Ian Costa's finding out his fate there, down on the beach, from the beach, and as he's through to the next round, it's heartbreak for D'Amico, who was in an advancing position for about 19 minutes and 50 seconds of that 20-minute heat. He goes third, and he'll go out. He'll probably go and get barreled somewhere, free surfing. Little debrief from, I think, Alan Rioux with Charlie Martin on the beach, and Martin lives to shred another day.
I'll tell you what, you know, that's experience, and that's a bit of real under the pressure. You know, that's a big heat for Charlie. If he lost that, I mean, you know, your week's gone, your whole Challenger Series potentially at risk, and he's came through and surfed it really well under pressure. And Alain's having a chat going, you know what, you did enough. I reckon you might need a bit of a new wax job, I think, Charlie. It looks a little bit old, that wax job. But he's done enough, and that's a great piece of surfing from Charlie under pressure.
Charlie Martin heaves a big sigh of relief, and it's all smiles in the French camp as one of the, well, fancied surfers really for this event. He'll make it through into the next round. We're going to get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll bring you some more scintillating QS action. Estrella, Galicia, Caparica Surf Fest 2022. We're underway here in Portugal. We'll be right back after the break.
Almada, território de muitos.
Welcome back to live action from Portugal, Estrella, Galicia, Caparica Surf Fest 2022, the beautiful Bay of Lisbon, as we check out, well, some of the navigational hazards as you make your way in to the iconic Bay of Lisbon. And just south of that, we have a long stretch of beach known as the Costa de Caparica. And we got QS competition in the water right now. 3 surfers. Let's check out João Mendonça, Samuel Igo de Souza, Oliver Hartkop out of Denmark in the green here, and he is up on the backhand. He'll poke one high up into the lip and get a completion. Evans in the studio, joined by Ben Mundy. And your excitement level so far, Benny, just managing just to kind of keep a lid in it, but I can tell you're happy.
Yeah, I am, and this man here looks pretty happy. Here you go, de Souza. Yeah, Paul, you just, you know, it's a big event. You just got to maintain your energy levels.
Yep.
Think about the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Don't try and get too excited too early.
We've all
Pretty
done
hard, though. Pretty hard with Mondaka, just going his backhand. So, yeah, a lot of waves getting caught. Had a real, as ever, big flurry towards the end of that last heat. Got the excitement, got the got the pulse racing, and we're away. We're underway, which I'm pretty excited about.
Stoked to be back in Costa de Caparica and check out some of the cultural highlights available, as well as the surfing action. Of course, a lot going on in this town. And of course, just Lisbon, about 10 minutes away across the bridge as well. So real close to the centre here. But our focus stays very much with the ocean at the moment and stays with our Scandinavian heart cop who belted that. De Souza, he's got some speed, Ben.
Yeah, good style. He's really smooth, sort of fast. Sort of typical light-footed, goofy footer, and got underway.
Something of a muted colour palette on his wetsuits this morning. He normally goes quite a bright orange or a blue or a green.
Pretty loud usually, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a change up. When he's surfing, doing the talking. Yeah, there's all sorts of extracurricular activities going on, isn't this week? We've got the big Champions League final tonight.
Ooh.
Benfica, the local team from Lisbon. Well,
Are they playing Everton?
They're playing Liverpool.
Tranmere Rovers?
No, they're playing Liverpool.
Okay.
So that's a huge night for the Benfica fans. Not so much for the Sporting Lisbon fans. They'll probably be going for the Scousers, I'd imagine. But yeah, that's on. Festivals later on in the week. Sonar is a famous festival. Start off in Barcelona. They've got their Lisbon version of it this weekend. Santa Cruz next week. Oh, it's just all go in this part of the world. And really looking forward to spending some quality time in Portugal. As ever, such a surfing hotspot. The events, the governments, the people, everyone gets behind it. And yeah, it's a magical time to be a QS surfing commentator, Paul.
Smooth from De Souza as he goes past sections with aplomb, but unable to really unleash and bring the ruckus. In terms of manoeuvres, he's got a good number though. 467 early on, locked in for him. That was his first wave. But he looks like he's dialed in with his equipment and finding some little nugs out here, Monday, already.
Yeah, these conditions suit that sort of fast twitch fibre type of surfing. And yeah, he'll be dangerous. Already a few sort of solid scores off the bat though, which is better than the last heat.
You heading to the football tonight, mate? Going to watch some Champions League?
I've been lucky enough to secure a ticket.
Yeah.
For the quarterfinal, the first leg of the quarterfinal.
The
So,
QS commentators usually get a corporate box, don't we? As part of our rider for events.
Yeah.
If there's Champions League going on, we're normally in.
Yeah, you get that. You get the often you get to even sometimes do the kickoff. They let you do the kickoff on
a little half time, come in and take penalties.
yeah. I mean, what the WSL do and how much we're held in high esteem means that pretty much the red carpet does get rolled out. And yeah, so courtesy of UEFA and the WSL, got some tickets to the football and pretty excited about it. Paul, pretty excited. Liverpool fan myself. So got some skin in the game. And I've been to Sporting Lisbon. Haven't been to Benfica's home grounds.
Stadio da Luz.
Stadio da Luz. So I'm pretty excited to go to that. One of the iconic football stadiums of the world. One of the great clubs of world football, Benfica. And yeah, we'll be there tonight.
Famously, of course, they fly the eagle around the ground before every kickoff.
They do.
Not sure exactly where the animal rights standpoint is on that, but hey, it's still going on.
Yeah, I think it's so old now that it's it would be cruel to let it into the wild.
Animals for our entertainment. Yeah. As we see a redirect from our threesome of surfers, they're headed north and they've seen some peaks coming in. We did see that set at the very end of that last heat had pretty much sort of double the energy of anything else we saw come through. That was sort of echoed in the scores as well. Here goes De Souza, backside from him. Couple of pumps, the wave will run away. Unable to do a whole lot of damage. In the meantime, let's go down and hear from a very happy winner of the last heat. His name is Charlie Martin. He's with Joanna. No, he's with Chico Alves.
No, with Joanna. Congratulations, Charlie. I mean, you're a local boy right here, aren't you? Must be happy to win this first round.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I forgot to put my entry one day late, and I got to do the first round. So it was pretty hard this morning. Almost lost first hit, so happy to make it. Yeah.
Where did all that energy come from there at the end? Because you gave it your all, like a few minutes to spare.
Yeah. I was gonna lose, so I guess I had a little hype in me. I didn't want to lose first one, so yeah, I made it. I got the last wave and I got the score. So waves are really hard, so happy to make it.
And how does it feel to be back here at Caparica?
It's cold. Feels cold, yeah. But I'm happy. Hope I do good. I do better next year.
We'll hope to see you in the next round. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you very much, Joanna Garnell, with the debrief there with Charlie Martin as we picked up live from our Dane Hartkop. Getting some backhand maneuvers done. This is nice and smooth from Mendonça. And he's looking to finish strong. If he gets that strong finish, he'll get a good score. Nice little flick of the head. And a smooth dismount as well. So, our surfer in red was in the lead prior to that exchange. He might extend here. Let's get another look, Ben.
Yeah, bit of clean open face, which I haven't seen. Got up in the lip. Another one, bit of spray. Wouldn't say they're too electric, but there's 4 turns, which is not easy to get out there. And the hair flick.
And the little dive off.
And during the interview, we saw Hartkop just doing his best to get a few turns in. Just could never get the open face that we saw from Zhao. So that was a little bit not quite as high a score you think, but he's in the game.
You've been based in Europe now, Ben, for what, 10 or more years? And I suppose if you look out of your window to the right, Denmark's not actually that far away. Have you had a chance to get up there yet?
I haven't been up there. I've been to Denmark. I haven't been surfing up there, no.
Okay. Legoland? Did you take in Legoland?
No, just to Copenhagen.
Tivoli Gardens? Surely you went to Tivoli Gardens.
I didn't, no.
Okay. Wow.
I had a...
What exactly did you do, Ben?
I was trying to remember. Might have been a stag do, Paul. Yeah, we went to Copenhagen. Did a bit of a food tour, actually, that I wrote for the Evening Standard, actually, from memory. So
right.
Went a lot of pickles from memory.
Pickled herrings?
Yeah, a lot of herrings. So, yeah, Denmark, there's a little ways there, and there's a little nice little surf scene up there. And talk about a surf scene, what about it? Oh, that's a bit of quality there from Samuel.
That's how you shred a 1 foot wave.
Yeah,
stay light on your feet, stay fast.
Bottom over your board.
Yeah, keep your bum over your board. Classic advice for small waves. Igo de Souza looking good here. Let's get another look.
Yeah, this first turn's got some real gauge. That's the first rail turn we've probably seen. And then another little S turn to finish off, and then he had a little finish. So, yeah, that's smooth.
Had a little look in, didn't he? Went, yes, please.
That sort of offshore nor'easter just picking up that spray and sending it out into the Atlantic. So, staying busy, staying strong. And look at that rainbow there, still just pouring into that Atlantic Ocean as we speak. A pretty lovely little palette there, isn't it? Look at the whites, the little tufts of breeze picking up in the ocean, the rainbow, the dark blues and hues of the Caparica surf scene, the lovely colours of the singlets, Paul, signifying a QS event is underway. And I'll tell you what, that little tableau, I mean, talk about the great impressionists, but I think that's the scene right there.
Big numbers in. 5.93 for de Souza, 5.83 for Mendonça. So scores are nudging up in the right direction. And a decent looking heat here. Oh, Dane Oliver Hartkop now requiring a fairly sizey, hefty score. The 6.56 is the requirement. That man there on your screen, he's in the lead in this one. Just a 3-man heat. So someone's going to miss out on the next round. Who's it going to be?
Got some tweets coming in, though, as well, Paul.
Twitter's fired up. What's happening in the world of Twitter?
Hashtag Caparica.
Hashtag Estrella, Galicia, Caparica Surf Fest 2022.
Yeah, I mean, it was just hashtag Caparica. And,
hashtag QS3000.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got one from Kiala.
Oh.
You might guess where Kiala's from.
Copenhagen?
Budgie. And Australia, she's loving the QS, loving the chat about Denmark. She says, Paul, who's to Paul, she's saying, who's your favourite Dane?
Of all time?
Of all time, yeah.
Great question. There's a lot to choose from. Can I have Eric the Red? I mean, he did spend a lot of his sort of career in Greenland before sort of being the first sort of European to get to America, well ahead of Columbus. Obviously, a long time after the people that already lived there, but Eric the Red would be up there.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't mind the Laudrups. I mean, Mexico '86 was quite a big World Cup for me.
Who do you prefer, Michael or Brian?
Michael did that one dribble, didn't he, in Mexico '86?
Right.
It was, yeah, I remember that. It's kind of my first real bit of sort of football that I kind of remember the action and the commentary going together. I think maybe started off my love for commentary. I think the commentary went, I think it was Brian Moore on ITV, it was Laudrup, still Laudrup. And I was like, wow, this is that's commentating,
So that's
is it?
commentating.
That's how
You can do that? That's a job?
I reckon I could do that one day. Yeah. So yeah, those guys, Eric the Red, the loud drop, and can I say this? No. Oh, let's just stick with the live action, and we will pick up Oliver Hartcott. Yeah, okay. I was not massively into Ericsson, to be honest.
Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, I never really liked him. I mean, I'm glad to see him back in full health, but I'm not a big fan of that guy. I just don't like his face.
Yeah, right. Yeah, never had a problem with him.
Here goes Mendonça, live action. Nice big hit from him, keeping the speed. Tags it a couple of times, and then he will exit through the back of the wave. He looks very smooth, doesn't he? Does young Shao?
Yeah, he's sort of nice contrast of styles, isn't it, between the surfing white, Sammy Ugo. Just he's fast and a bit more sort of lighter, but doesn't really have the power as Mendonça. He's just been sort of hanging the fins up there and showing a bit of variety, a bit more spray. So
who are some of the Great Danes that, for you, Ben, down the years? Historical or living?
I'll tell you my least favourite is Peter Schmeichel.
No one likes him. Let's check out the recap and see how our second heat of the day has gone down. And De Souza's look good. He's looked smooth. He's looked fast. He's looked sparky, Ben.
Yeah, he's looking just got the right ways, had a bit of face, and he's always got that down-the-line speed, which is really hard to generate in ways like this. And he's done well. But Mendonça, as we say, just contrast in style, not just the goofy versus natural, just a little bit more sort of waiting for his turns, so being a bit more patient with his turns, and yeah, just cooking out the back there. So those two guys, sizably, this is the wave of the day so far for me. Only a 5.93, but just surfed it so well. So yeah, great surfing from the Brazilian.
Been an exciting heat. This one, just 3 surfers in the water, but good to see those scorelines getting healthy. Double figures for Samuel Igo de Souza. People might be wondering, Ben, this is a European QS. There's a few Brazilians in this. How does that work? Can the Brazilians take these points and use them towards qualifying for the Challenger Series? If people are wondering that question, it is a great question. Ben, the answer.
No, they can't.
They
That's the answer. No. They cannot. You are registered with a particular region, so you can choose. If you've got, say, the Brazilians who might be living here and have Portuguese residency, they can elect to surf in the European WSL or the events, and that means any points they get will be used in the European thing. But you can't take those points anywhere else. They're
can they
useless.
keep the money? Can they keep the money?
They can keep the money.
They can keep the cash.
They just can't keep the points.
Right.
And for many of these surfers, they'd rather the points than the money. Oh, maybe not. But yeah, so these guys all basically aiming to get some European qualifying series points. Only you can't put your European QS points in Brazilian ATM and withdraw it. It just does not work. Or Australia, you've got to get European points in Europe, and then the top 10 surfers will go through. Is it top 10? I better double check that. Might get Rob Gunning in my ear on that to go through to the qualifying series and the Challenger events, which will obviously determine the CT for 2023. And Halley Batista.
Ryan Coelho getting ready and just taking it all on board. It's like just getting ready to go out there and have big fun out in the QS, as we'll check out some lines sort of making their way with a certain degree of sort of lethargy into the sandbar here now at Costa de Caparica, and that wind has really picked up. I mean, that looks like great conditions for maybe kiteboarding, doing those sort of Kai Lenny type loops on your windsurf, holding onto the handlebars, doing those somersaults, or anything that involves wind, because it's blowing a hoolie out there, out the back. It is pretty strong. Numbers on the board, though, for white and red. De Souza, Mendonça, Hartcott looking for that 6.56. And that feels like quite a big ask with just over 2.5, Monday.
Yeah, that's big. And
how's Twitter looking?
It's looking good.
Busy?
Yeah, always busy.
A lot on.
A lot on. There's a lot going on.
Questions. Very inquisitive.
They are.
Aren't they, those tweeters?
They really are.
Oh, what do they want to know?
Well, one's just come straight off. I mean, think about this so fast. The Twitter sphere is dynamic. So Ian Fontaine there, getting ready for his next round. Yeah, we've got one here from Max from Madawi. He's saying, speaking of Kai Lenny, He's got a surf quiz question for you, Paul.
Madawi on the west coast of Bali.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Long left-hander.
Yeah. Bit fat, but fun.
Brown water, but yeah.
As you get older and older, you start to move down that coast more and more. Yeah, and he's saying, speaking of Kyle Lenny, speaking about the wind, does Paul know the name of his children?
No, I don't. That's the short
I
answer.
thought you were all over it.
A niche question.
Had some twins yesterday.
Yep.
Did Kyle Lenny.
Okay, congratulations.
And, yeah, congratulations. Hope the birth wasn't too windy. It was fine. And Kai's got 2 twins. Actually, that must affect his time in the water, having a set of twins. You'd imagine. Very busy boy right now.
If anyone can manage that schedule and ride all
I'm
sorts
looking forward
of
to
craft
seeing both of them like in a double backpack.
in a papoose,
In a papoose, one in the front, one in the back.
100-foot wave.
No, it's just he's 50 foot. He's not. He's calculated. He takes calculated risk, Paul. 50-foot jaws, one strap at the front, one strap at the back.
Live action. Mendonça in second, trying to add some numbers. He was in third priority then. Hartkop couldn't find himself on that. Needs to get away for it. Does Ardane in the green. Our heat leader, De Souza, might have a little look at a wee left to possibly bring back in. Here he goes, the high line. Down the line, he'll just kind of clip one into the pocket. And it's been a job pretty well done by this man here. An electrifying surfer in all kinds of conditions.
Done well. Max also has a supplementary question. He said loves the double, loves the loud drips, loves a pair of footballing siblings. It's his favourite thing. He's asking Paul, who would be your favourite football siblings, excluding the loud drips, which you've already mentioned, of course.
Yeah, that's tough. I got quite a few sort of least favourite siblings, which seem to come to mind easier. Have a little bit of time to think about that one.
Yeah, of course you can.
Well, that's going to wrap up the heat. De Souza will take that one out. The young, up-and-coming Portuguese, João Mendonça. He surfed well, got the second spot. Unfortunately, Oliver Hartkop will bow out of competition at this stage. They're coming thick and fast. These 20-minute heats are flying by. 2 in the bag already. Just 100 heats to go now.
Oh, just a nice round 100.
Are we going to do the countdown after every heat all week?
Yeah.
Just a century of heats to come.
I mean, I don't want to utilise the old prison wall sort of counting system where you count down to 5 and scratch it in with your fingernails on the wall. I mean, that might be a bit extreme, but yeah, we can count it down.
Sunshine poking through on a beautiful breakfast time, a Tuesday in Lisbon. De Souza through to the next round. We're going to go to a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll bring you more live, beautiful surf and action from the Estrella, Galicia, Caparica Surf Fest. Stay tuned.
Almada, território de muitos.
Okay, welcome back to live action here in the Costa de Caparica on the shores of Lisbon. We are rifling through the round of 136. This is Heat 3. My name's Ben Money. I'm joined in the booth by Zay Ferreira. Zay, what's been your sort of, your initial kind of feelings on the day so far? Sum up the conditions, sum up the vibe, sum up your feelings.
You know, there's a lot of wind. So it's, you know, the swell is kind of being pushed away, but we've actually been seeing a little build up on the swell. So the vibe is cold. You know, it's not only rainbows. Actually, there is a rainbow out there, but it's pretty cold. But you know, the surfers seem motivated, Key West style, as we see Ian Fontaine.
Yeah, Jan driving down the line, the Frenchman from up in the Brittany coast. Sort of worked for Billabong, did a lot of team manager work, does a lot of coaching now. Still keeps his skin in the game. Had a good 6 months in Tahiti last year. His partner is from Tahiti, so he's been keeping himself busy. And straight off the bat there into this heat, we've also got Ryan Coelho from Brazil and another Denmark surfer, Christopher Holler. We just had Oliver Hartkop unfortunately get knocked out, so another Dane hoping to make the mark, as we saw Ryan Coelho out the back there. And yeah, so it's cold, it's got small conditions, but looking forward, Zay, we're thinking we've got some waves coming our way, sort of bit of a increase in swell, maybe tomorrow small,
Yeah.
borderline non-existent, and then it starts to pick up, right? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, exactly. That's on point. As we have Ian's replay of his last one. First, actually, like it's small and kind of looks hard for bigger, heavier guys. But everyone is really being able to surf. So, you know, the waves are small, but it's really clean conditions. So it's not that, you know, onshore. I think we missed this one.
Yeah, this is Ryan Coelho, and he sticks it up. That's in. So yeah, all the surfers getting up, despite the small swell. The little banks sort of making little wedges, you know. There's not probably too many spots on the coast with this type of swell. You get little sort of fun little zippers, and yeah, just enough to get us underway. Pretty stacked. We've got a lot of surfers. We've got only running through till Saturday. It's the swell window, or the event window for this. So Tuesday to Saturday, so we don't have a whole lot of time up our sleeves, or a whole lot of room to move in terms of saving days or waiting for tides and stuff. So we're going to have to sort of crack on with this, and yeah, with waves breaking and yeah, sort of fun but very small conditions. We're underway.
Yeah, as you were saying, tomorrow it's going to drop a little bit, maybe not existing, especially in the afternoon. Then there's a new swell coming in. It's kind of a, you know, with south wind. So let's see what we have in store. We will have waves, which is, you know, a good sign already. But yeah, we're starting small today, clean though, and yeah, it's just that normal vibe of starting QS. People are starting to wake up, especially the high seas. Well, we actually had east wind.
Yeah, the offshore breeze, so she's straight offshore today, but yeah, just bend around a bit to the south. Rest of the week, bit of a funny wind, the south wind in these parts, right? Not ideal for many of the Portuguese, obviously west-facing coastlines, but there's so many little nooks and crannies, and yeah, we're going to find some waves. Speaking of someone who found some waves, I think the winner of the last heat is down there with Chico Alves.
Yes, boys, I'm here with the last heat winner. Samuel, how was it out there? Congratulations.
Obrigado. Estou bem feliz por ter avançado minha bateria. O mar está um pouco complicado, porém estou com um material muito bom que está me dando o conforto de poder ter a facilidade de surfar esse tipo de onda. Estou feliz por estar em Portugal, estou feliz por estar tendo essa oportunidade. E é isso, primeiro hit, agora focar para a próxima e ajustar algumas coisas que a batalha só começou.
So yeah, Samuel was saying he's really happy to be in Portugal. His board is feeling great. He's in good shape. He loves Portugal, and yeah, he had a good left, which was a 5.93. Gave him the victory into the next round. He's happy. I'm happy, and see you in the next round, Samuel.
Yeah. Cara,
Fala obrigado.
Não, é isso aí, quero agradecer a todo mundo mesmo por estar na torcida. O Brasil deve estar dormindo ainda, deve estar acordando, né? Mas pronto, continuar nessa energia que as coisas vão acontecer. Obrigado pela energia aí.
Thank you. Obrigado, Samuel. Back to you, boys.
Yeah, thanks, Chico. And thanks, Sammy. So stoked Brazilian, as we see, a Frenchman fanging down the line, wearing the booties. You've been wearing the booties, eh? What's been sort of, you're still in the booties? What's the water temp, sort of, would you say, around there, this part of the world right now? On
Well,
the spot?
it's definitely warmer than in Bretagne. Yeah, he's probably just used to wearing boots where he's from, but it's working for him. Smaller wave, but he's looking, sharp, powerful.
Yeah.
He's surfing with space, so good wave, 5.5 for him.
Yeah, flash to the fins at the end too. Bit of power. There's young Brazilian again, Ryan. Just only a young kid, just finding his way on his way around this QS scene. Valuable experience. You've got to start somewhere, and Ryan just trying to inch his way through this first heat of the first round of the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest for 2022. It is a real surf festival, isn't it? You can see as the days progress here, the crowds start coming down. There's skate bowls. There's music playing. We've got all sorts of events and activations. And it's a big week in the Costa Caparica. As you see, pretty happy man there. Yeah, he's stoked. So coming up in the next heat. And they're pretty wrapped. Every heat's a big heat for these guys, these early rounds. 10 minutes on the clock. We've got Ian Fontaine out in front with a 9.67. And both the surfers below him needing some scores. Bit of a flat spell. Just coming through the mid part of this heat. Typical of the tide sort of coming in about a bit later. Lower tide should help these waves, do you reckon, Zay?
Yeah.
Geez, that doesn't look like much fun, does it, out in those boats? But just like flying the Ukraine flag and support. And out there doing it tough. The Lisbon boating people today.
Yeah, this is a beautiful image, and let's see if Ian is interested on this one. Looks like it's a small wave, but here he goes. His board must be pretty big because he's going fast, and you see he's not getting caught up on that rail. He's just flowing really well.
Yeah, he does look like he's got some. As soon as he gets to his feet, he's got that board speed, which is really hard. Channel Islands. There, whatever he's on, I have to double check maybe in the next heat. But
it's an epoxy for sure with that
Channel
energy.
Island.
But yeah, I always say this, but Lisbon and the festival. Let's look at the replay on this on this angle. He's going fast. He's not slowing at all. So good for Ian, looking good. But Lisbon is actually, has surfing 20 minutes away from it, which makes it the only capital in Europe with surfing that close. And so for a contest like this, for a festival like this, makes it just that much better, as we have Christopher.
Yeah, so many coastline as you see on the back. Ryan Coelho just backing off the back here. Another one coming in, so look a bit more brightly, staying busy, trying to get back in the game. Fontaine out the back, he's just racing down the line. He's been so busy. Oh, there's a big turn. Really hard to get that speed, and he's still going on a tiny wave, but he's managing to surf really well. So Fontaine putting on a bit of a clinic to the younger guys in your seat. Yeah, exactly. When you fly in, it's amazing how you fly into Lisbon and you get a real good sense of the coastline, don't you? Because the airport's just tucked only probably 10 k's inland, if that, right in the heart of the city. And you can see all that Cascais, the headline.
Yeah, exactly.
Comes all the way down and then all the way to Carcavelos, which is an incredible way, but it's so close to Lisbon itself. And then, as you say, just on the other side of the river, 10, 15 minutes away is Caparica, where we are right now. And it's just so much coast. There's so many great waves on the doorstep of one of the great cities. And Holler is trying to make sure that he stays in Lisbon for another day at least.
Yeah,
top.
wow. This first turn is, you
Bit
know,
of a-
really
bit of a drift,
impressive.
didn't he? That
Yeah.
little fin drift, bit of variety. Looking sharp.
Really looking sharp. But yeah, definitely that's why there's a lot of people from abroad coming in, living here, especially after COVID, post-COVID, I should say, with all the remote working method now. There's a lot of people, you know, based in Lisbon, working remotely, and just taking advantage of that quality of life. You know, they're 20 minute away from an European capital. That seems to work for a lot of people. So yeah, surfing is definitely growing again. It's been growing in Portugal for the last 10 years, actually, since I'd say like the turning point was when the CT came down for the first time. I think that really changed the game in Portugal, because it was pretty much based in France. The surfing capital in Europe was France, and I'd say Portugal really changed in that regard after the CT. I think it was in 09.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we were up in Peniche a couple of weeks ago for the CT, and that was the general consensus that there was a sort of a interest and a slow sort of murmur of, you know, people visiting Portugal to go surfing, but they tend to be hardcore surfers, weren't they? People that knew about the waves. And then from that time on, when people found out there was so many variety of waves, and Peniche especially, with everything from 20-foot barrels to 1-foot longboard waves, it's just been absolutely exponential. And this is the recap. So we've seen the youngster, Ryan Coelho, getting a couple of little taps off the top, but it's been this man who's been the star of the show, Zay. He's just looked really, really sharp and fast.
Yeah, he looks like he's surfing another day. Look at this. Bottom turn, his fins come off, his rail doesn't get caught at all. He finishes, you know, this wave, it's knee high, so really hard to do that. But yeah, really, experience does pay off when you're competing for so many years. Ian Fontaine, I think he's my age, so he turns 45 this year. 30. And you can see he's calm, collective. He knows what board to ride, and that really plays a role, you know, in the QS.
Yeah, and he's done a lot of coaching as well, sort of team management and also coaching. So it means that he's, you know, as you say, he's got the experience, and he's been here many times before. He's talked to other athletes through it.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's paying off. I mean, it's so it should. It's a round of 132. You know, this is the first round, first seeding round, and he should be. He's top seed, but he surfed well, surfed sharp, on point, and he'll be really happy with his performance so far. These two though, they've got a lot to chase, and the Dutchman, Christopher Oller, only needing a 4.53 now, and Ryan Coelho, who has priority, trying to hang on to it. Skyline still has purple shades, purple haze of a sort of cool, fresh April morning in Lisbon. Sort of changeable time of the year in this part of the world. Things can rapidly change. You can have sort of fierce sunshine and incredible sunny days, and you can have some sort of storms. You can have kind of in between, like we've got today, offshore breezes and brisk winds. So yeah, sort of a real range April, known for its volatility. But right now, well, it's offshore, it's 2 foot, and we are go. We're trying to find a bit of excitement in these last 3 minutes. That's Christopher Oller, the Dane, I should correct my country there, is looking to get a 4.53 to crack in that all-important second spot to get through to the round of 96.
Yeah, and the wind is calming down a little bit. Let's see what that makes to the waves, as we see Christopher having a look, but he's not going. He has third priority anyway, so that won't change matters for him.
Coelho with a decision to make now, with a sit on his opponent. If he had a bit of sense or a bit of experience, he probably won't let his opponent get too far away from him here. He's got the priority and he's got the second place. You learn pretty young, don't you, Zay, how to manage these heats? You know, that he would have surfed a lot of heats, even though he's only young. He's growing up surfing the Brazilian and Portuguese events, so you learn to hassle pretty quick.
Yeah, you have to. You have to. Well, actually, I might take back what I said. You don't have to. You know, it's also a question of style, of your competitive style. You know, a guy like John isn't a hassler at all. You know, or at least I don't have that image of him. Even when he was younger on the juniors, obviously you have to defend your position when you're in the heat, but it's different if you compare competitive styles. Oh, that's smelly, is it?
That's Tad. Yeah, we got Tab Texter, always
veteran.
The veteran, ex-skate pro. He's been hitting QS the last few years. One of the great characters of the sport. And I love the underarm sniff on the camera. That's Tab all over.
No taboos for Tab.
Tab, yeah, exactly. He don't play by the rules. He doesn't play by society's rules.
Yeah.
And
good to have him.
Tab Texter, good to have him around. And good to have him around in really small doses, I would say. And Tab Texter, yeah, what a classic. And he's, you know, still fighting his dream to get on that CT. Not giving up hope. It's a lesson to us all that you should never give up on your dreams. 30 seconds to go. He'll be out in the water next, fighting for his. But it's that man, Quello, now trying to hold on. Yeah, he's keeping an eye on. Surfing Green, trying to get a jump on him. 24 seconds on the clock. Fontaine is safe. And Jan just looking at this one, just to do a little victory lap. Looks like we've lost another Dane. It's been a bit of a bad day for the Dane starts. We see and striking out, kicks the fins out, and again, and then just headbutts the board. And Kano Souza, I'll be watching this. That's his person in second, Ryan Quello, so he's safe. Wouldn't say it was a particularly commanding performance, but he's done enough, and that's all you got to do. Fontaine first, Quello in second. Unfortunately for Holler, he is out of this event. Hopefully might get a chance to get a restart in Santa Cruz next week. And we are progressing through to the next heat straight away. An interesting heat coming up. Kano Souza, Hugo Hermanning, Tab Texter and Daniel Alfonso.
Yeah, so we have a surfer from São Tomé e Príncipe, an island of the Atlantic, African island. There's a lot of relationships. No, never been there. Would love to be.
Me neither. It looks
go.
amazing, huh?
It's amazing. Yeah, it's kind of expensive to go there actually from Portugal.
Yeah, so we got it all coming up. We've got many more heats, 99 heats to go. And we are about to go to a short commercial break and come back with more live action for the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest 2022 right after this.
Almada, território de muitos.
Welcome back, live coverage from the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest 2022. Brand new heat out in the water. We'll see Kane Souza of Brazil, Hugo Hermenning from Deutschland, Tab Texter, the veteran out of the USA, Danilk Afonso, a brand new name on the QS from Sao Tome and Principe. I'm Paul Evans, joined by Zé Ferreira, the Portuguese Parco. Mate, are we enjoying what we've seen so far this morning?
Yeah, waves have been small but very surfable. We've been seeing surprises. The guys are surfing really well, even with a small surf. You know, it's that kind of day that a good board makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Everyone's surfing with, you know, big doors, as we had Kaina on his first one. Little two-turn wave. Good opener.
I like the spray, I like the hair, I like the style.
Yeah.
There's a lot to admire with Kane Souza. We've seen him competing on the QS in Portugal, over in the Azores as well, for a couple of years. Always a good character to have around events. Got some sharp manoeuvres on him in the meantime. Someone that absolutely had that in the last heat was our Frenchman with a good win in Fontaine, and he's standing by for a chat.
So guys, here I'm here with the last heat winner, Jan Fontaine. Really nice to see you again.
Yeah, my
long
friend.
time no see.
Exactly.
How are you feeling?
I'm feeling good. It's been a good winter at home, and I was in Tahiti before, so I'm feeling good. I'm here to compete and make the most out of it. So yeah, all good, all good.
How's the board feeling? Looked really quick.
Yeah, the board is great. It's a Merrick Spine Tech, and it goes really fast in those like small conditions, and it was really helping me out there for sure.
Yeah, you look great. It was really good to see you surf again in this type of conditions. I didn't saw you surf since the Pro Juniors in these type of conditions, but yeah, good memories and great to see you again. So into the next round, Jan Fontaine, and back to you boys.
Thank you, Chico. Let's check out Afonso on the backhand here. Whips one, and he'll crack a lip and just about hang on to get to completion in pretty shallow water on the inside. Just want to revisit that point there about equipment there. A lot of people going for epoxy. Now we know it's lighter. What else does it give you in the small waves apart from that? Oh, the lightness in itself is a pretty big plus to have, right?
Yeah, just energy. Let's just take a look at Kaina Souza's. Yeah, just the energy, the vitality. And, you know, in these kind of conditions, you just feel more comfortable.
A little bit more buoyant as well, so floats you a little better.
Yeah, exactly. You know, on the bottom turn, you don't lose speed. You have way more freedom at the top. So, but there's also a downside, or there might be a downside, which
with every high comes a low, mate. It's one of the laws of the universe.
Exactly. It's called the Evans Law. But yeah, you can lose a little bit of expression in your surfing, you know, a little less power, a little less water on your turns.
Is that because they're different flex, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
Just doesn't quite have that natural kind of surfboard flex that we're used to from PU.
Yeah, exactly. You know, in these types of conditions, it definitely pays off, you know. All the guys are using it, or a lot of the guys are using it. Just makes it that more easy to surf and to score.
The other cool thing about your EPS epoxy is the boards actually get whiter with time, right? So like you're used to your normal board going yellow and looking all sad after a year. Some of the epoxies actually get whiter as they get older. How mad is that? We've got the women coming up soon as well. We're checking out Beatrice Costa there, who's kind of in our first heat of the women in the round of 56. Men and women's qualifying action here at Costa de Caparica. So this is our fourth heat of the round of 136. It's been pretty exciting so far. There's been little flashes, nothing crazy in terms of the waves, but seen some decent numbers going in, particularly that heat number 2 I thought was a pick from what we've seen so far. Kane Souza so far in this, a couple of small numbers. Let's remind ourselves, Tab Texter, the veteran out of the USA. We saw him surf last year down here in this event and up at Santa Cruz as well. And he's just one of those colourful characters. I'm not sure if he's really waging a a campaign to get on the Challenger Series and on the Championship Tour. But he's getting himself in the QS and he's loving it. And he's bringing some of that classic surf culture to the QS.
Yeah, exactly. That kind of disruptive, you know, 80s California surfing style, skating kind of thing. And, you know, I miss that in surfing. So glad to have that.
Let's have a look at a paddle here from Hermening, as he'll hit one off the top and just wind down the line. And another little redirect as he prods that board. Nice spray on the third turn and keeps the momentum crucially for a finish. A really well surfed wave from the German in blue. Good stuff from him. And that'll get him a decent score. Very likely to be the best of this one so far. In these 20-minute heats, they go quick. Let's check out the replay.
Yeah, good first turn. Second little hit. Another one, and he's able to finish off. Smart surfing there for Hugo. Nothing, you know, out of this world, but, you know, consistent wave. Gets the best wave of this heat so far, so smart surfing for him.
Very easy just to bury that board on the last turn and just sink it really and go incomplete. And he managed just to keep that thing above the water as we check out the very highly rated Lucia Machado out of the Canary Islands, who has been very impressive. Saw her on the QS a few years ago, around about maybe 14 years of age, something like that, really young. But despite her relatively small stature, she is an incredible surfer with a lot of speed and aggression. She'll be coming up very soon in our first heat of that women of that round of 56 for the women. Coming up after this, we saw a quick in and out there from Kane Souza, who will just keep trying to catch waves. He's been the busier of our pack so far. That was his fourth effort. It's not going to be a significant number, but that wave, as you mentioned, from Hermening, the 4.33, pretty decent. Here goes Afonso. What's he got on the forehand now? So he kind of waits patiently, almost loses the back foot on the top turn, does well to hang on, gets a little snap. His board almost completely stopping, though, during that turn, and generally speaking, he will lose a few points there. Ooh, nice turn from Hermening, so spicy. And on the backhand, gets a good hit to finish. Not sure what work he got done before that, but he's in the lead, and he will extend because he'll improve on his backup, which was just a 0.83, just for that one turn alone. Let's have another look.
Yeah, just a one-turner, but strong one. Then we had this this wave from Danilk. It's so refreshing to see, you know, different surfers from different regions coming to this competition. As we were mentioning, there's a big historical and cultural relationship between São Tomé e Príncipe and Portugal. We've been having some surfers from there living here in Portugal. Gege Vidal is another one, surfing really well. Been living here for a couple years and, you know, evolving, and would be so cool to see more of these guys coming and doing well, because, you know, in the end of the day, they have all the physical conditions and mindset. You know, they just need proper waves and support.
The emerging regions in surfing, all part of those exciting stories that we're following in modern surfing in 2022. The qualifying series is where we introduce names. They look to put themselves up in contention to get in that Challenger Series, which will kick off real soon up there on the Gold Coast. Snapper Rocks will kick off the Challenger Series next month.
Good. Snapper Rocks for a Challenger.
What a spot.
How lucky
it's good,
are
good to
those
see it back
guys?
in competition as well. It's been a couple of years. And then, of course, heading over to the US Open, a Challenger Series over there on the west coast of the USA. Before we come back to Europe, got an event up the coast here at Estrella. We're up in France. Head down to New Zealand. Wrap things up in Hawaii. It's Catalina Diaz getting ready for her heat. Doesn't seem to be feeling too much in the way of pressure. All smiles for an early encounter on one of those mornings where it's kind of difficult to tell what's going on weather-wise. It feels pretty fresh when you go out there, but there's always the sort of chance things will kind of, sun will pop out at lunchtime. It'll feel quite nice, but that wind at the moment is keeping the temperature down, so everyone pretty rugged up on the beach there. The hoodies, the beanies, all of that stuff, just trying to stay warm. Crucial before you hit the water. As ever, the tidal conditions playing a big role in our conversation throughout the day. Get down towards that low tide mark, round about now.
Yeah, well, let's see, kinda. He's also doing the Portuguese national, so that means he's been living in Portugal for a few years now.
I heard, speaking of the Portuguese nationals, there's a big comeback. I heard a lot of people have been talking about big comeback stories, on the Portuguese nationals. Mate, you were back in Figueira de Foz, right?
But I don't want to talk about it.
How did you get on, mate? Did you open a fresh can of whoop-ass for the young kids?
I was just I came in, I lost on the first round, but that's a strategical that's strategic. So
was it
everyone is thinking that he's over.
Was it like one of those
next comp?
Classic.
You know?
Was it a bit like one of those kind of Legends football matches where you get all the stars from the 80s?
Yeah, exactly.
They come out, they're a little bit red from running around, but they still got the skills. They still got the footwork, but they just can't maybe cover as much.
They're a bit more rounded. They're a bit more round, so they're more fluid. Let's just say.
Yep, I like it. Mate, I'm backing you. I'm backing you. How many more events left in the national tour?
4. And
4, mate. 4 finals, and you.
4 finals, and I'm up for it. Yes, we have a very nice national circuit, and this year we have a stop in the Azores as well, so that's exciting.
Yeah, our co-commentator as well, Chico Alves, he got 5th in the last event. He mentioned, I saw him yesterday. I bumped into him. I was having a quick beer, watching some surfing, and he came down, said, "How you doing?" It's literally the first thing he said to me. I was like, "All right, Chico, how you doing?" I got 5th in the nationals. Literally first sentence. As we check out live action here, Afonso. Quick hit from him in 3rd right now. Looking to improve on that. He only needs a 2-1-7. Not massive sort of energy from him as he makes his way rather reluctantly back out
tropical
the back.
Vibe.
Yeah, mate, you're well in this. This is a low-scoring heat, and this is anyone's right now. He only needs a 2 to threaten Kane Souza, who, despite catching 6 waves, hasn't really got anything massive numbers-wise. It's still Hugo Hermenning with the best of this. Here goes Souza again. He likes to stay busy. And he'll stay on the inside here. A little pump for speed, a little clip off the top, and he'll bang it. And he'll just keep trying to catch waves. You will find one of those runners eventually open up.
Yeah, he's looking sharp, clean on his feet, on his board. Nothing big, but playing the game.
Not classic tab texture conditions, you'd probably say. He would have been hoping for a little bit more meat on the bones. But thus far, it's been pretty small. As we'll see, Lucia Machado, the shoes on, just trying to stay warm. Crucial, just to kind of conserve that energy, that heat. And go out there and try and basically keep the energy from the warm-up straight into the action, because 20 minutes goes really, really quick.
Yeah, it's crazy how 20 minutes go. It's crazy. Actually, in the data like today, it's close to the beach, so there's a lot of waves. But 20 minutes heat, it's very fast for these surfers, especially if you're losing. But we'll have the recap now. This is the first wave of this heat. Kinda, his best wave so far, and then Hugo, he's our man in the first place in this heat, surfing a smart heat, not falling, doing the right thing, German style. And then this is the best wave of the heat, a one-turner, so that's also a message from the judges, what they're looking for. And they want some aggression, even though the waves are small. That's what they're looking for.
Good numbers, really. Think about her Manning with those couple of 4s. One of them just for the one turn for that 4-5. The multiple hits on the 4-3-3. And really, he has picked by far and away the 2 best waves. That left hander was just a quick closeout, but his timing was good enough to get that one maneuver done. So you don't need to do 4-5 windscreen wipers. If you just get one big turn, it will get you points. And he's looking good value for the lead so far. It's really open, though, for that second place. That requirement for Afonso just needs a 2.86. So he is capable of getting that. Tab Texter, he's only got a 0.93. He's sitting there, just kind of holding things down. The center of your shot is in white. The veteran. Not exactly sure what his age is, but that's a gentleman of a lot of experience in terms of earth years. And he's looking to find himself a wave here. I like to see him rocking the short arm, even in quite brisk conditions. And he's got just over 2 minutes and 45 seconds to get back in this seat. Looking for a 4-2 to do it in one wave or a couple of waves. He's going to have to paddle hard to get on this. You see that swell is just a little sluggish. But meanwhile, anyway, deeper without priority, but finding himself hooked in is your heat leader, Hermanning. So managed to get himself in a good position on that wave, but he was actually kind of deep in terms of where the potential was for scoring sections. Meanwhile,
there we have it.
Texter. Don't see a lot of kneeling double shackers in QS competitions. And he'll just be feeling a little frustrated with the way the energy's going with the ocean. Interesting to check out what equipment he's riding. Meanwhile, let's check out Afonso here with a bit of speed, trying to find a section. And that wave just kind of ran away from him. But he is still in this. I'd like to see him get out the back quick and get about getting that 2. Here goes Kane Souza at the moment holding down second. Not sure he'll add to his score with that. Danilk Afonso get himself out the back. Just needs a 2.86. So really, any of these waves offers that. You get a couple of quick tags with some speed, and you're well on your way to that score. Let's see how he goes at that. As you mentioned, really cool to see surfers from some of these emerging nations. You know, we used to see a lot of sort of same regions and countries, particularly in Europe, dominating. Thinking France and Spain particularly. Some of our other great European nations, but really cool to see some of the African countries coming through too with their representation. Of course, on our QS schedule, events lined up for the west coast of Africa. Senegal was a great addition to the qualifying series about 3 years ago. And it was back on the schedule.
Yeah, that's great.
I believe there was another event lined up for Côte d'Ivoire, for Ivory Coast. Am I tripping? I'll have to check that on the World Surf League app and confirm that with you. As we see the women get ready to head out into the water. So our women's competition on the QS here at Costa de Caparica, and coming at a crucial time, particularly in terms of that qualification for the Challenger Series. Fewer spots available for the women. It is a smaller tour. It's all about getting yourself in that top 6 position for the women. Get yourself into the Challengers. They will be kicking off pretty soon. And strong representation as ever from Portugal. It's been that story really, look, the last couple of years, just generally dominating in the men. See a lot of French names in those Challenger Series. For the women, Portugal, pretty much with the nod over France, but those two making up the main rivalry. Meanwhile, a good-looking wave, good speed from Souza. And he'll tag it a couple of times. He's been really busy. That was his 10th wave. Looking to get out of the 2s. Looking to defend his 2nd place position. I reckon he did that there. Not sure Afonso got a wave. Don't think Tab Texter added much either. And it looks like that's as will remain Hermanning, who was very good value with a couple of 4s. That man there, the German, he'll be stoked to make it. And he made it pretty well. Didn't have to scrap around and catch a load of kind of 2s and 1s. Just nailed a couple of 4s. Got the job done.
Yeah, smart heat from him.
Meanwhile, Kane Souza just going busy, catching a ton of waves. Gets himself through in 2nd place. Danilk Afonso, he'll bow out of competition. Look forward to seeing him, presumably up in Santa Cruz next time out. And that'll wrap things up. One big hit can get you the points. There are some opportunities out there at Costa de Caparica this morning. We're fired up. We're underway at the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest 2022. We're going to quick live break. We're going to bring Chico Alves back into the studio. Don't go away.
Almada, território de muitos.
We're back live from Caparica, and we're underway for the women's QS, as we will see 3 surfers take to the water in the famous shores of Costa de Caparica. 20-minute heats, not a long time for our women to nail the 2 best scores. And here to break it all down and talk you through it, joining myself, Paul Evans, is Chico Bashiko Alves. How you feeling, mates? Can I just say you're looking great?
You too.
Yeah, thanks.
You look really good, Paul.
Did you get an early night last night, mate? Because you look like you got a spring in your step this morning. You look well rested. You look happy and content. Yeah.
Yeah, I slept really early.
Nice.
I really like to sleep a lot.
Yep.
And yeah, it's really cold out there. I was there for 2 outside interviews and it was really cold.
You did look quite fresh, mate, in the big down jacket. Now, it's nice and cozy in the studio, though. We got the lights on as well, which generate a little bit of warmth, and we got some pretty good action out in the water. Let's check out the presentation for this heat, as we'll see Lucia Machado, Beatriz Costa, Catalina Diaz Gomez, our 3 surfers. Some up-and-coming names. Seen a bit of Lucia Machado, and I liked what I've seen so far. She's a really good surfer. She'll just kind of fizz her first turn to get a little double-up energy on the inside, and really well navigated to get the finish too. She's light on her feet. She's going to need to be.
Oh, really well surfed away from Machado. I think that first turn was really good, and she managed to keep her speed and that wave, which is going to give her a good score. And we just saw Beatriz Costa from Espinho. She's from up north. She was telling me she was quite nervous for her first experience on the QS, and she did a really good turn there on her backside, so she might be happy with that.
Did you give her any tips, mate? Any secrets you can share? What did you tell her to do?
I told her that no one will remember tomorrow what happened today.
Wow, that's a bit deep.
Yeah, I know.
Oh.
But yeah, I'm that type of coach.
I thought you were going to say something like go the let, or, you know, just try and finish your second turn. But wow, you went like really kind of quite poetic.
Yeah, I tried to relieve a little bit of pressure.
Yeah, okay.
Like just saying no one will remember, we'll be fine. And yeah, I think she did really well to start off with that 3 points on her backside. I think her backside is where all the points come from, and she likes left.
Tell me more about Espinho. That's up in the north near Porto, where you live?
Yeah, it's where I live. It's a right-hander. It's really good. Not that consistent.
Because we have a pro junior, we have a longboard competition now from the World Surf League in Europe as well.
Exactly. And it's great to see comps going over there. If they are lucky and the swell is the right one, it gets really good. But well, it's just like any other sport. You need the right conditions, so yeah.
All right, let's go down and hear from the winner of the last heat, who's standing by with Joanna Garnell.
Thanks, Paul. That's right. Your first QS and your first heat win. How are you feeling about that?
Very good. Waves were a bit small, but was good. I find my two good waves to make my heat, and stoked.
And it's your first QS, but it's not your first time competing. You've competed in the Junior Pro in Spain as well, so not your first time here in Portugal.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be back?
It was good. I'm happy to be here, and yeah, stoked.
Too stoked for words. Thank you very much, and good luck in the next round.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff there. Strong showing and a big smile. Good enough for a spot through to the next round. Let's pick up live action here. Costa making her way back. Actually been busy. That was third wave. She's got some reasonable numbers already locked in. The 3, the best of it. That 5-1-7 came in for Machado, though. For that right hand and multiple maneuvers. A tricky section. She dealt with it well. And going mid-range on the score. Let's get caught up with Costa on the backhand. A little bit late to that one.
Yeah, she managed to pull it off, but yeah, she was quite late on that turn. The wave was hard, though. It was like a mini closeout.
And she's thinking, so tomorrow, don't do today. No, what was it? She's trying to remember. What did she say?
No one will remember what I did today.
No one's going to remember you. No, I like it, mate. Keeping it more sort of philosophical and sort of, yeah, just taking the pressure off. All about it. Just go and be yourself. Act like you're free surfing. Have fun.
Yeah, exactly. I tried to tell her that so she has a little bit of a relief of pressure, because people sometimes just put too much pressure in themselves, like, oh, it's now the moment, like it's now or never, and I think it's your own like ad talking to yourself, not anyone else is thinking that way about you. So, yeah, nice turn here. She had the space to open up, and she started really well. Catalina having a hard time now finding waves, and she just lost priority.
We've had a little chat with Zay Ferreira about the national tour, actually, in the last heat. But on the women's side, who's dominating that so far?
Yeah, Kika Veselko won.
Yep.
And I think it's the same group that dominated in Israel. They are always going up against each other and putting up some good battles. I think we've got, in my mind, I see Mafalda Lopes, Teresa Bonvalo, Yolanda, Carolina Mendes, and Kika Veselko. They are like the main...
Who's your money on?
My money for this comp?
No, just in general.
I think for this comp...
Okay, or for this comp, yeah.
Okay, I bet for this comp, I think regarding the conditions, she's quite fast in this type of conditions, is Carolina Mendes.
Okay.
She serves really well these type of conditions, and she's got light foot, and she's quick. So my money can be on her, but yeah, all the other girls are reaping, so they can easily ruin my bet.
Nice and styly there from Diaz Gomez. A couple of quick hits from her. As she will get her third wave, and it will be her best by far. Just a couple of throwaways so far from her, under a point. So better stuff from her, and plenty of time on the clock too. Let's get another look, Chico.
Yeah, she gets speed, which is always great. She gets a quick snap there. She gets another one. Quite. She got caught up. She needed to put a little bit more weight on her front foot on the second turn, so she would keep going with speed.
While we're making predictions for the future of Portuguese women surfing, which two, assuming it's two, Portuguese women will we see charging Chopu for the Paris 2024 Olympics, mate? Who do you reckon? Look into the future. Look into your crystal ball.
Oh, what a nice left she got. That was nice. She looked at the judges asking for it. So, boom. So, in terms of attitude of the girls, I have to go with Yolanda Hopkins. I think she'll be number one to
Classic
just charge
Hopkins.
it. Classic Hopkins. She'll be first one out with 8 foot and be like thinking,
all over it.
Yeah, no one will remember what happens tomorrow.
Got the Olympic pedigree as well, hasn't she? She
Yeah.
surfed well in Japan last summer.
She likes pressure. She likes artwork, and yeah, that in terms of like attitude, I think she's up there. And
who's your second surfer? Who's your second pick?
Teresa, I think she's got the skills. Yeah,
smooth
she's got
style.
the skills, and if she get that early paddle with attitude, she might get barreled. So, yeah, that's my go-to pick. But there's a long time until the Olympics, so they all might get a lot better than now. So
a lot of surfing yet to come.
As we see red here, Lucia. Ah. This was Blue's wave, quite late into that turn. We still have Lucia first with that 5, that first wave. That backhand attack with that big first snap was the best turn of the heat so far. And then we have Beatriz with 2 low scores on the board, and Catalina trying to find her feet. She's looking focused, as we see on the screen. She's looking angry for more.
Well, people out there watching might be wanting to know a bit more about Caparica. You know, we've seen various venues up and down the coast of Portugal in professional competition, but as a local from this part of the world, mate, this is like our main break here, Paraíso. What's the name of this beach?
Oh, Paraíso.
Paraíso.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you said it slightly better than me, but I thought I did a reasonable job.
Paraíso is actually great too.
That's our main kind of, it's where most of the swell is, but we've also got peaks up and down. So as you go kind of left, looking out to sea, am I thinking it gets a little softer and mellower? Is that right?
Yeah.
Eventually?
When you're looking at the beat,
yeah.
If you go to your left, normally it's smaller and smaller and smaller
and
smaller.
That's generally where I head. Yeah, perfect.
Me too.
Yep.
And then to your right is where all the swell, like...
It's where the rippers get out there.
Yeah, all the pros.
Get nuts.
Yeah.
Get gnarly.
So I might take the old boys group and go down south.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's quite how it works. And it's really funny because if the main swell comes from north, and the coast is a little bit like that. It's quite weird. Why it
Yeah,
gets
it's kind
so
of the other way
smaller
around.
there.
Yeah, it's counterintuitive a little bit.
Yeah.
You'd think it'd be bigger as you headed south, but surfing's a bit like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
Not all the rules always apply. Let's get caught up with action out in the water. I think scores are all in. It's still Machado leading this. Still got that 5-1. Costa kind of snapping at her heels with 5.67 as a combined two-wave total. Catalina Diaz-Gomez, she's got that 2.73 locked in crucially. She just needs to work on that backup now. Not the massive requirement, the 2.95 with 7.5 on the clock. And it looks like that wind has dropped quite a bit. I don't want to curse. I'm going to touch our sort of nicely sort of Pallets World Turf League background in the studio, touch wood, but looks like the wind might be dying down a bit there, Chico, which is nice.
Yeah, I think it's great if the wind can drop a little. This morning was really strong. And with like small conditions and all the strong offshore is just so hard. It's probably the hardest conditions to surf ever.
I've got another question for you. Small waves, kind of little quick and zippy. Would you join the twin fin revolution, mate, get out there and surf a twin? And part B of the question, do you reckon anyone might, for this early rounds of competition, anyone going to go the twinny? They're popular, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
Good day for it.
They are, but I think we might see one guy.
Okay.
But only on round 3 or 4.
Right.
They need to have the right mindset in terms of like board selection. I don't think we will see anyone from round 1 having that confidence of like changing it up the game on the first round. So if we see someone getting a twin fin, it might be on round maybe 3.
Well, I'm looking forward to it greatly. Let's see how that plays out as we see our next heats getting ready. And just basically trying to stay warm, really, keeping the shoes on, keeping those feet warm, important to get that traction and have that grip and that feeling in the feet, of course. Control that board, get major maneuvers done, go up the scale in terms of our points. At the moment, it is Machado leading this one out from Costa. Diaz-Gomez not a long way back. It's been a little bit of a quiet one just since that early fizz from Machado. Nevertheless, we're going to bring you a recap and tell you the story of our opening heat of women's QS competition so far.
Yeah, this was Lucia. Boom. Big first snap. And she managed to fit another one here. And this was the best wave of the heat. Really well served. Quick transitions. And here, Beatriz replying to her with a big backhand snap on that major section.
Machado just putting it up there. Unable to get a completion on that one, but she's got the intent, she's got the aggression, and I like the way she's putting a lot of amplitude into her turns. Good looking peak here. Diaz-Gomez with an opportunity with 5 to go. She doesn't need a big number backside, and it will just run away from her. Never really kind of engaged into that wave, so just not quite the paddle speed or something going wrong. She'll have plenty of time to do more work. What are we looking at there? We're looking over at Cascais. Am I right in the background?
No, I think that's Lisbon. Still.
Okay.
I would say.
Cascais is kind of left
of
that shot.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. I'm trying to see, but I don't see really well that far away. But yeah, I think it's Lisbon.
Okay.
And yeah, I think Blue is having quite a shocker. Her body language was quite disappointed. She's feeling she has more to offer. She came all the way from Spain. She's here to perform, and as we see, coming up next,
Laura Coviella, the charger out of Canary Islands on the Mark Phipps equipment. Like she's gone the epoxy on the Phippsy. She's an impressive big wave surfer, and 2 pound is Laura. Been enjoying watching some of her clips of her charging over in the Canaries here for the QS, taking on Melania Suarez-Diaz, another absolute ripper out of the Canaries. So great looking next heat as we'll pick up live action from Diaz-Gomez, getting a finish on a wave and still in search of that 2.95. So situations haven't really changed much. Costa unable to add to her scores. So that requirement's staying the same for Blue. Let's get another look here, Chico.
Yeah, she got up late and she gets a quick turn there. She needed a 3, I think, and she had a 2.7, so not enough. And here, Lucia, she got her backup here with the 3.23. So Lucia extending her lead to Beatriz, which is nice. And we see here good sportsmanship between these two girls.
Yeah, Melania, absolute ripper one of the outstanding surfers from that kind of push out of Spain, out of Canary Islands. Really, really impressive. Good rail game. And she looks very relaxed as she takes to the water. Also going to see Anais Blanchard in that heat, as well as Maria Salgado. So 4 surfers taken to the water very shortly. Still business to conclude in our opening heat, however. Machado leading it. Who's going through with her at the moment? It's Beatriz Costa of Portugal. Got that 3 and the 2 and hasn't added to that. Catalina Diaz Gomez has been struggling really for a high 2 as these two basically sort of paddle each other almost into dry sand looking at that wave. And it looks like Machado looks interested in the right-hander here. Just over 2 and 10 minutes on the clock. Speed down the line.
Oh.
Big hit from her. And again, nice rhythm. Groans of pleasure from Chico Alves. And Lucia Machado looking really, really good.
So nice to see her surfing this right. Really quick in transition. Nice wave. One of the best waves you saw this morning. Probably even on the men's side, we haven't seen a right-hander like this. So clean. As you said, the wind has dropped, and she looked amazing on this wave. So let's see again. Getting her speed up. Boom. Big first snap. Quick in transition. Blow tail there on the end section. And probably the best wave of the heat so far. 2 big turns. Judges love it. We love it. And yeah, 667.
Massive number for her. Part of that emerging talent story from Canary Islands. There are a lot of talent, particularly on the women's side, I would say, from that region, making the next big push in Europe. We've got a couple of them coming up in the next heat as well, but in this one, Lucia Machado looking really, really good. Big total 11.84. That'll be the best we've seen so far today. Just over a minute on the clock. So the question is really, can Catalina Diaz Gomez find the elusive 2.95, Chico?
Yeah, 1 minute to go, 50 seconds now. There's a set coming, and anything is possible in surfing.
She's improved her number. She's got 2.27 on the last one. It's heading in the right direction. She just needs a little more than that. There's your heat leader, Machado. All right, what do we got here? Well, it looks like priority is with our surfer in blue. So this will be a crucial wave, 30 seconds. Can she get herself in position? She might be a little deep on this one. And it will be Machado, the heat leader, finds herself on a corner. And with the speed and gets the fins out. Really nice again from her. And she has looked dominant in this one.
She smells confidence. And that last turn was really good. As we see here, Catalina trying to do the 297, 295, and yeah, signs of frustration there from not making it. And yeah, hopefully she'll get back and better from this performance.
A great job done by Lucia Machado, who basically ripped this wave apart out there. Going big numbers, throwing away a 4.8 on her last wave for that one maneuver. It's a decent score, doesn't even threaten their top 2 with a big total and a ton of confidence. 11.84 her total. And it will be Beatriz Costa of Portugal who will advance into the next round for the women. That'll wrap things up for our first heat of women's competition. Live action from beautiful Costa de Caparica. We're going to bring Ben Mundy back into the studio with Chico. And we'll be right back after this quick commercial break. We'll see you soon.
And welcome back to live action at the Costa de Caparica. We are into the women's rounds here. The first day of the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Festival 2022. The best European surfers battling it out to get into the Challenger Series for their dream of making the CT. We've got offshore breezes, we've got a small swell, we've got fun conditions. We've got Ben Mundy in the booth, joined by Chico Alves. And Chico, bit of a stacked teat here. We've got some 4 very, very good surfers all battling out. I know I'm no mass whiz, but 4 doesn't go into 2. Only got 2 people go through in this. We've got Maria Salgado. We've got a charger from the Canaries, Laura Coviella, and Ace Blanchard serves well. And we really like the look of Melania Suarez Diaz, another Canary Island surfer with a really, really strong style, a lot of competitive experience. So stacked heat as we push on through. Looking to wrap this up by Saturday, hopefully, as the conditions get better during the end of the week. We've got small waves, but we've got fun waves. We've got Chico Alves. What's been your highlight of the day so far? I know it's only early. What's grabbed your attention? It's been the coffee. It's been the pastries. Has it been the surfing?
I think we have to admit that comeback from Charlie Martin on the last dying seconds is always great to see on the first round. And on the women's side, we only had 1 hit, but yeah, Lucia Machado was ripping on the last hit. Big backside turns with speed. That board is looking great, and she looked confident. And yeah, we've got a really good hit on our ends. Really stacked it for first round, eh?
Yeah, it is. You're right. Yeah, well, these surfers all sort of really equally talented. And Ace Blanchard from France, she's been just getting a few better results over the last few years. So here she goes, up and riding. The French woman driving down the line, waiting for an open section. Gets a floater, falls off. That won't count. She didn't have that open face she was looking for. And they just goes back out the back, looking for another little shot. Bit of open face is what you need. You need little corners, Caparica corners. And you see some more action out the back, on the backside. So this is Suarez Diaz. That's that style we talked about. 2 big turns, a little double up section. Can she hang on? She can't. That would have been a big score if she made that last turn, but she's still got 2 turns in. So good surfing from Diaz Salgado, in and out.
Yeah, unfortunately for her, she fell on that last turn, but she was on her way to a good score. Nonetheless, I think it's going to be the best score of the hit so far. She had the space to attack it 2 times. And as you said, quick surfing from Melanie and really great style. Great approach from her. And yeah, as you were saying, you need those little corners on these days. Yeah, 5, 6, 7, as I said. Best wave of the hit so far. Melanie starting off the hit really well. And with these conditions, as you were saying, you need those corners because it's really small, and if you get one of those corners, the wave opens up a little bit and you have the space to open up. So yeah, when it gets bigger, a lot easier because Costa is known as a wave with a lot of space and time to surf. But when it gets really small, like today, it gets quicker and really hard to surf.
Yeah, exactly. There's not a lot of time out there at the moment. You got to make the most of every little bit of open face that comes your way. If you can get on those little edges. So far, Suarez Diaz, she got 2 turns in, just couldn't manage the third, but even still, solid score of 5.67 these early stages is pretty bit of a keeper. And she's out there. So that's Coviella. She's made a bit of a name for herself in terms of surfing some solid waves and a bit of a crack in the big wave kind of arena, which is great to see. And here though, just trying to get through these heats in the QS. The challenging series spots up for grabs. Big series now. What do you think about the new? Got to put you on the spot here, Chico. What do you think about the new arrangement, the Challenger Series, where it's regional based, the cut-off on the CT, the finals? A lot of big changes happened in the last 2 years.
Yeah,
for or against?
Oh, I think I have to.
Come on, mate. Just be honest.
Yeah, I'm honest. I think it's great, but like,
yeah, there's always a but with you, isn't there?
Yeah.
What's the but?
The but is that Yeah, I think it's great. Overall, I think it's great.
Come on.
Stop, man.
What?
Don't push
Just
me.
say what you feel.
Just don't push me. No, I just think it's great. And yeah, we've got the interview coming up.
I'm coming back to this. You're not getting off that. That was poorly answered question. But right now, speaking of questions, we've got Joanna Garnell down on the beach with the winner of the last heat.
That's right, Lucia. Congratulations. That was a really tough heat. How did it feel?
Yeah, thank you. It was a bit difficult because of the wind, but it was fun.
And we were chatting before. You were saying that you're still studying in high school and trying to keep your grades up. How do you manage to study while competing?
Yeah, I have to stay at home when I have to travel, but I've been keeping up this year, so just when I travel, I bring everything with me and study when I have free time. So.
And when it comes to the choice of surfing or physiotherapy, what's it going to be?
I think a little bit of both. I think I have time to do both, and it's not hard to separate all of this. So I can surf when it's in the day and then study at night. So.
And it'll definitely come in handy when you're surfing and you get an injured leg or something. You can just heal yourself.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. Yeah.
Well, good luck with everything, and we'll see you in the next round.
Thank you.
It's a bit like you. She surfs during the days and studies at night, Chico.
Yeah, I was like that too.
Yeah, you were like
I was
that.
one of those guys.
Yeah.
I love a good.
Okay, I'm going to change that question from the last one that you didn't answer to.
I'm going to be
What's the
honest.
best thing about the changes on the recent tour, and the worst thing? What's the best thing about it?
So the best thing for me, for example, is you don't need to travel the whole world. You don't have to leave your own continent to make it happen to get into the Challenges series. Okay,
good point. Very
That's
good point.
my. I think it's the best point to give the opportunity to all the surfers to kind of make an opportunity for themselves, because many of them don't have enough money to actually travel the whole year or the whole world searching for points to qualify. Before you had this format, you had to go to Japan, for example, to do a 6,000. So that's quite expensive if you get there and you do like a round one. And here, as we see Laura live action, a close-out wave. As I was explaining, yeah, and I think the other thing is, for sure, there's continents where I just think the level of surfing is quite higher than others, and surfers might feel like they have less opportunity than they had before. So that's quite a mixed feelings. I think, other than that, all the changes that in any sport make you feel like it's a change, but I think it's positive overall.
Okay. Yeah, no, you're right about that. But then I do agree that, say, for example, the Brazilians only get perhaps 10 slots, which is the same as, say, Europe or Australia, and you might think there's probably a bit more depth of talent in Brazil. But on the flip side, I think, with 10 surfers getting 10 men and 10 women, or 6 women, getting a start, that's quite a lot, isn't it? Like, it's plenty of opportunity to get in that top 10. Salgado just coming undone. I did feel, speaking of that series, in Australia, they've just wrapped up their qualifying series region, and they've got the top 10 surfers, and it was Nathan Hedge who made the final in Newcastle, but missed out by one spot of making the top 10 to surf in the Challenger series. If someone gets injured, he'll get a start. But what an achievement! 43 years old, still absolutely ripping the bag out of it.
But that's the fun part, because before, if you're 40 years old, you wouldn't even compete.
No, you wouldn't be traveling around. Yeah. True.
And now having this opportunity, if you want to do it, you just do it. You're close to home. You don't have to spend like loads of money to make it happen. And he's a good example of that.
Yeah.
He could have been 16 years old or 40, but it's close to him. So it's it's just an opportunity for yourself. Like, if you're feeling good boards, have been surfing the whole year, you just make your entry in there if there's spots available, and you can crack it out. Like, there's nothing saying you cannot make it. You don't need to do it for years. As you saw, like William Cardozo, it was years to make the city. So sometimes surfers get mature, they get the more experience later in their career. They see things differently, and Nathan can be one of those guys that
does it. Yeah, you see Coviella here on a backhand.
Nice snap.
2 turns, gets it in, and I think there's opportunity too. Like, there's a lot. Each region has enough events where you can't really be unlucky. You can't be unlucky over 4 or 5 events.
Yeah.
If you're good enough, there's plenty of opportunity. There's plenty of chances to make that top 10. So, all you got to do is put a big result, and you're almost through. So, yeah, it's pretty fair, and it's working.
And one funny part about this is that all the names that we saw coming up on this new format were quite the same from every region. So once again, they proved that they deserve in any type of format to be on the Challengers. So
yeah, the quality rose to the top. You're right. There was no big shocks in terms of people missing out.
Exactly.
So we'll see these girls here fighting it out to try and get into that all-important Challenger Series events. The 6 spots open to the Europeans. And here we go. A bit of a battle. Blanchard on the left-hander. She looks like she's behind the section. Gets one turn up. Not sure if that'll be deemed a completion. Did need a big score. 3.44.
As you see, Maria Salgado from Portugal with a 3.5, putting Laura and Anais Blanchard on the 3rd and 4th position. Melanie looks really comfortable now in the 1st place. And as we saw here, Anais trying to get a big backside attack there.
Got any intel on Maria Salgado? You know where she's from? No?
Yeah.
Just put you on the spot.
Yeah, I just think she serves really good, Maria. And
good up and coming
great
Portuguese talent.
Yeah, great talent.
Some good. The women's are really strong. Yolanda Hopkins. I think Yolanda might coming into the booth. Portuguese surf star, made the Olympics. Obviously got the quarterfinals.
We need to get Teresa here.
We need to get Teresa in. Yeah.
And
fresh off the win.
Exactly.
In Israel, so she's on form. She's had a really good run over these QS Series events. One here in Caparica. The last time the event was held here. So, yeah, she's the out-and-out favourite for this event. You see Blanchard down the line, really fast left, just too fast.
I thought she was going to get barreled.
Oh, no, she got the backside barrel. Just ran off, didn't it?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that is interesting. Maria's saying, look, that was interference there. That surfer paddled for the wave, and she did create a sort of a closeout little section, a bit of foam there. So
I think that might be an interference from Laura Coviello.
Yeah.
Because, she really kind of like destroy her wave really well on that section. We can maybe see it again. But yeah, the judges are going to look it up close, because that, as the waves are so small, any type of like section is a huge section, and as we have our last 5 minutes of the heat.
Yeah, that's right. So yeah, it was going to be a decision to be made. She paddled for it. Right now, though, we've got a bit of a recap of the last 15 minutes of the heat, the proceedings. And start off here with Salgado, the local hope, banging down the line. It's a 3.5, or not quite hanging out there. Little peak starting to go near the breakwater where they tend to get, but that's a nice turn from Melina Suarez there. She's been the form surfer of this heat. Got a pretty substantial lead. She looks safe.
And yeah, I think this was the 3.5 from Maria. Nice hit off the top. Judges loved it. Critical section, and she made it, so stuck with that for sure.
Yep.
As we said, interference was called.
Right, there you go. So that wave that Laura paddled for didn't stand up on the wave, but did enough to impact the scoring potential of her opponent, and so she's been paddling interference, loses the best wave, second scoring wave. So still in the game though, 3.5 minutes to go. Although she loses that scoring wave, she still only needs a 3 or a 4, so she shouldn't. She's made her job harder, Chico, but she's still got a definite chance to get through this.
Yeah, I think so. With the waves, with the conditions like this, you only need like a big wave, a big score wave to make it happen. So she should look to that one wave that helps her out. She needs a 4.73, so it's really makeable actually.
Absolutely. Yep. We've got the scores there, yeah, and the 4.73, you're right, to go up into that first place. A number, but not a particularly huge one. And we'll just see how she goes. Probably a mental game a bit as well, isn't it now? She's made a mistake, and she's got to just sort of put that to one side, and you've only got 2.5 minutes to try and regroup.
Maria Salgado was actually my teammate on the nationals for my ping pong team.
Right.
She's really good at
ping pong.
Yeah.
Would you say lethal forehand or backhand's more her sort of go-to?
Backhand. She's good with the backhand attack on the ping pong side.
Yeah.
So she actually beat me. So
yeah, that's not unsurprising.
Great action there.
Yeah. Who won the who's the sort of Portuguese ping pong?
I actually am.
You are?
I am.
Oh, okay.
I want to be. I don't want to be like.
Hey, mate, just if it.
Like putting yourself too
it,
much on the spotlight, but I have to be honest with you, mate.
Yeah, you have to be honest.
I'm just too good with rackets.
You're just too good. I mean, compared to the other Portuguese surfers, you're not. I mean, it's a pretty.
Not really. The Vasco is.
Who's the best?
I am. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah,
but
no, it's not a joking matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she's maybe that type of. Here's the interference. So, Chico, talk us through it.
Yeah, that was a good call from the judges. She was unhappy. I think Laura shouldn't paddle so long for that wave, and we don't want to see no one lose with an interference, and unfortunately for Laura.
Yeah,
it happened to her.
Bit of an experience. I think Maria did well to point it out to the judges as well. There, saying, "Come on, that's not cool." The judges probably would have picked it up anyway, but the fact that she highlighted it would have made their job a bit easier. So, yeah, you can't. It's nothing worse when someone closes out your wave. It's not a drop in, is it? But it's still.
No, it's really annoying.
It's just annoying, and it should be punished. Whoa. Talking about getting punished.
As we see,
Anais just went straight down.
Out. 30 seconds to go now. As we see Maria with priority trying to do. Oh, nice wave. Oh.
Big turn. Can't hang on. She got a sort of 3.5 for just a single turn wave before, but only such a young, talented surfer. And she's looking the goods, 15 seconds to go. Looks like she has got through this all-important first round. That'll settle the nerves. Always just taking it one hit at a time, these surfers. 5 seconds to go. Looks like that's a wrap. Diaz and Salgado are through. Coviella and Blanchard missing out. And that's a wrap. So, unfortunately for those girls there, Laura with an interference and just needing a bit more composure. And that's a wrap. So we go through, we go on. We are progressing here in the round of 56. Heat 3 is up next. We've got Janina Zietler, Carolina Santos and Ilias Tabay. 3 women heat coming straight up. Right now, though, we're going to go for a short commercial break and come back with more live action from the Estrella, Galicia, Caparica Surf Fest 2022 right after this short break. Don't go anywhere, folks. We are go. Welcome back live to Caparica Beach, Portugal, on the southern shores of Lisbon. There's the Lisbon harbour there, the scene of many a famous seafaring journey. And, well, we've got some seafarers out in the ocean right now, surfing in the round. At the first round, the round of 56, the heat 3. My name's Ben Mundy, and I have the pleasure and the privilege to be joined in the booth by Yolanda Hopkins, Portuguese surf star, also surfing the event. Yolanda, how are you feeling? What's the vibe? Talk to me. What's going on?
I feel pretty good at the moment. Is hoping the waves pick up for the end of the week, but it seems pretty perfect. The waves aren't too big at the moment, but hopefully for the best when I go in.
You like a bit of swell? We've got a bit of swell coming.
Yeah.
And how's your week? You've been competing in Israel?
Yeah,
How'd you go?
yeah.
How'd that go for you?
I got 5th place. It was actually pretty slow. I'm not really used to too much just surfing wind swells.
Yeah, it's a whole new ball game, isn't it?
Yeah, it was quite weak comparing to the surf in Portugal, what I'm used to, but it was an amazing experience.
Yeah, it was the first time there?
Yeah, never been the first time.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? Pretty cool. And obviously the goal for this year is to crack the Challenger Series.
Yeah, I'm just in the borderline at the moment, so let's hope this comp goes quite good so I can be in there.
So you've got this event, obviously, and then in Santa Cruz.
No, the girls are just this event,
Cruz, obviously. This is make or break.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, so
you're making me nervous. You're making me nervous.
I'm be confident. I'm confident.
Yeah, good. Okay, good. Oh, I'm fine now. That's all you needed to tell me. As we see paddling here is Zitla, and she just kicks out. Obviously, you surf a bit south of here. You're probably how many miles south is your little part of the world? 100 miles?
I'm not sure, like maybe 120 or something. It's about an hour and so down south.
Yeah, there's been some waves down there. I've seen
some. It's been pretty good. Yeah, it's definitely a bit less colder than here.
Yeah, bit of warmth down there. A bit of a cold day today.
Yeah, definitely.
And we're going through. So you won't. It's round 56. You won't probably surf today. Is that right?
No. Today's just the first round of girls, and then the second round of boys, I think.
That's it. Right. I'm glad you're here to talk me through all this sort of stuff that I should know about.
I'll teach you everything about it.
Yeah, good. Right. So then, hopefully psych up. And what's been your training? You've been fit, injury free.
Yeah.
All set to go.
All good, injury free. Just training like the hardest I can and try to put those hours in the water just to be lively in my board. And
assuming you do make the cut for the Challenger Series, which is the goal, where would be your first event? Where would you go?
Australia.
Straight to Australia for the Gold Coast.
Yeah, I love Australia. I love surfing there. Such a good vibe. And they always have some amazing waves. And I would love to try Snapper Rocks as well.
Oh, well, I'll tell you what, if you're going to try Snapper Rocks, doing it with just 4 surfers in the water is the way to do it.
Yeah,
I tell
definitely.
you. So what an opportunity. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, but what a prize that is, as you see Split Peak. And Janina Zetler going on the left, looking for some open face. Gets one turn in. Looks aggressive. But can't quite get the third one in.
Yeah, I think Blue went to the right as well.
So trying to get those little corners will be the key today, you think? Would you say, what would you be, if you were to approach this heat, what would be your strategy?
Probably just try and get on it straight away, and even if it's almost a closeout, just get one turn out. Because she ran a little bit this wave, and then once it slowed down, she had that nice turn. Just try to capitalize on the little inside bit. But yeah, I would try to go straight. Oh, here you go, Blue.
So Santos.
Rip, nice. The wave just kind of slowed down and it got a bit soft. I did notice on the right that it does slow down a bit, and it slows down so much. Actually, I think there's like a deep channel or something. Right. The wave gets a bit fat.
And you've got that strong offshore as well that's sort of always trying to blow you off the back.
Yeah, it makes it tricky to actually make turns. It was the same case this morning when I went for my free surf.
Oh, what time were you out there this morning? 3:30 was it? What time
almost. Because light is so late. It's almost at 7.
Yeah.
I was there. Yeah, I was there for like 6-something, right. 6:30 or something like that. Yeah. It's quite difficult because you have so many lights outside my eyes. It's quite hard to adjust to the darkness of the ocean.
Yep.
You'd think it makes it easier, but it doesn't.
It doesn't, no. Well, that's the problem paddling out in the pitch black, Yolanda.
Yeah.
It's quite hard to see sometimes.
A little bit.
But
It's
yeah,
manageable.
out there early, getting the feel of the place, which is really important. And so obviously you've surfed a lot here. All the Portuguese surfers, this beach is a bit of a mainstay for the competitive scene, isn't it? So most of these, if you grow up in the competitive scene in Portugal, you're going to end up in Caparica at some stage, right?
Yeah, 100%. And this comp's been here for quite a few years now, I think, since I started. I remember doing Pro Juniors in Santa Cruz as well, but this comp, the QS, has been here for a while. This goes Reg, trying to make the best out of that little wave.
Trying to stay busy. Just a really small wave. She got a 4.5 for that first wave on the backhand, so
yeah,
strong start. So it must be quite difficult knowing that. So we're in April. What's April the 5th today, isn't it? So as you see this wave of Santos. The first hand was good.
It was very nice, powerful.
She just had to finish it off. She would have got a good score, but
yeah,
sort of not knowing your plans almost is difficult as a professional athlete, isn't it? So you've got this event. If you get through it, then it's bang. Is it? Just
it's just happening straight
flights,
away.
and you've got to be scanning flights and seeing if they're possible and getting your money sorted.
Yeah.
And
I'm always just, I'm ready to go. Whenever they call me, I'm ready to go.
packed.
So
You just got the bag there, straight to the Goldie.
Yeah.
And yeah, well, that'll be exciting. So let's see how we go for that. And then what would happen after that would be the Challenger Series goes Gold Coast.
And then there's another one in Sydney.
In Sydney at Manly, is that correct?
Yeah. And then I think we do come back. I can come back. Oh, we'll see now the replay of White. Just trying to get some speed out there. Just ripping off the top. Just trying to keep the speed on this wave. It's quite a small wave. But she managed to capitalize on the first turn, so we'll see what the score comes out. Yeah, it's Manly, and then I think we come back to Portugal for a little bit, and then I think it's South Africa.
Right.
Alito. And then come back and then go straight to California. It's a lot of traveling around this year. If you're on for the challenges, it's going to be a lot of traveling.
Yeah.
And then in between, you got like two months at the end of the year that start the QSs in Europe as well. So it's
Full on.
it's a full year. It's going to be full on.
I suppose we've been sort of a bit used to the change of pace of competitive surfing over the last few years with the COVID. It's sort of slowed down a bit, and there's little gaps here and there. But now, that's, you know, if fingers crossed, it stays the way it is. It's all systems go.
Yeah. They just
Hopkins is go. She just presses that green button, and she's off.
Yeah.
And yeah, exciting times in surfing. And then all with that dream to make the CT, which obviously now kicks off in Hawaii with the Pipe Masters.
Yeah. I
So-
loved the Y last year. It was the first time I've been there. I went to do Alaiva, and I stayed there for almost a month, and it was so amazing.
Yeah, that's right. I think it was just before last time we spoke. You were just getting ready for Hawaii. And
Yeah.
it was a good experience all around.
It was amazing, and I actually managed. In the beginning, I struggled a little bit to actually find myself and catch more waves than I was catching less waves than I'm used to. And then I seemed like I met this crew, and they were really cool. They were always first out, like in pipe, like at dark or like 5 o'clock in the morning. And because I go out so early, I met them, and we kind of like connected. And by the end, my last day, they made a barbecue right in front of pipe for me and my trainer.
Oh my God!
It's like a send-away barbecue.
Classic Hopkins. Turns up in Hawaii, unknown, never been there.
Yeah.
Leaves a month later with a massive luau on the beach.
Estrella actually, when I was in Alaiva, the crew actually came and watched my heats even when it was raining and everything. And I was carrying like a crate of beer, and Troy's like, "Oh, is that your preparation for your heat?" I was like, "No, it's not for me. It's not for me. I'm trying to bribe the locals, you know."
Yeah, how that works.
It worked quite good.
There you go. Well, they talk about the spirit of Hawaii, and sometimes it gets a bit of a bad rap in terms of the welcome you get. But yeah, there is a real spirit there that shows if you open your heart and you get stuck in. If you paddle out a pipe at dark every morning, you're going to get some respect. You get a few waves. That's well.
It was tricky.
Yeah.
I went to pipe, but I actually managed to catch a few waves, like a few good waves, and it was such a good experience to even like come back here to Portugal and just like perfect the technique, because that wave is so intense. And I actually, straight after I came from Hawaii, I had a really good swell where I live, and in this place where just have barrels, and I literally had the best barrels of my life.
Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing quite like it. Just the power of Hawaii, isn't it? You come
Yeah.
back, everything seems a bit dialed down. You feel you got more time and you got more confidence, haven't you? Because especially after you spend a month there.
It was really nice.
Okay, so here we go. There's a left-hander. Tabai just sticks it up for one turn. She's in second place, but not safe. And he had Carolina Santos leading a 1.43, as we see. That's Santos there. So she hits the lip. Very similar waves. Judges probably struggling to differentiate between those two. Out the back, a flurry. Heat leader Zietler struggling down the line. She just looks like she's got some menace. She looks intent and aggressive, but she couldn't find an extra section there.
She's ready to go as well. She's on it.
Yeah, she's got that sort of body language. It's proving she's really in this to win it.
Yeah, there's a little bit of fire there.
And just got a heat lead at this stage. 7 minutes to go. So that tide draining out pretty fast. That should help us maybe get a bit zippy, a bit quicker, but maybe a few more options. Talk us through these replays. What did you like? What didn't you like?
The wave was quite fast, so she went for the floater. In my particular case, I would try to go for the second turn. And this, she just like tried to make it a little bit safe, I reckon, just to have that score. She just needed a 1.43 to go to second, and I almost 100% sure she got it. She just wanted to make sure that she could pass the second place. She didn't want to risk it too much.
Yeah, Santos just waiting for the scores to drop. 6 minutes to go. Still plenty of time, plenty of ways to be caught. And she will just be hanging around. Only 3 women heat in this particular case, so all open. Must be nervous when you look back in those early days, your first competition. Some of these girls surfing, relatively early in their careers, and that first heat's so crucial, isn't it?
Yeah. I remember I was actually just talking to my coach about it today, about how nervous I would get in those like particularly critical moments in my heats, and trying to make sure the nerves didn't get the best of me. And since I competed for quite a while now, it's a bit like second nature. I can deal with it.
Okay, so White, Tabai, heading small score. She's got a bit of open face, gets one turn in, she's hoping again for another, and she's just pouncing, but she can't get a section.
Oh, she managed.
Managed to find the last one in, but had to work really, really hard for it.
Yeah.
And that was Tabai. She needed a 4.08 after all those scores dropped, so I'm not sure that'll be it. Yo, what do you call on this wave?
The wave itself was quite good. To be honest, I would have been a little bit deeper, but she trying to make the best out of it. She kind of lost a little bit of speed down at the end, but she managed to click. Not sure it's going to be the score she needed, but I don't think it would be too far from it.
Yeah, that first section, they probably needed to maximise that open face out the back.
Yeah.
She just couldn't quite do that. See Lulu Rumiel there, just warming up, sussing out. That's a better turn from Santos. There's another one. And this is the best wave we've probably seen of this heat. And finishes off well. So Santos looking strong, and that's going to improve her position. Just saw a bit of flash of fin, a bit of spray. That's when you know something's happening, right?
Yeah, just putting some sting in those waves.
Here she goes. Talk us through it.
The first one is so nice, and then she complete that transition smoothly, no pump, and then she managed to get the last one. I think is going to be a good score.
Yep, so Santos out in the lead. And I think she's going to improve on that, probably substantially. She'll be safe.
Yeah.
Tabai and Zietler going down. You see the stretching out into the distance, the Portuguese coast. These little groins. Swells tend to taper off as you get further down the beach.
She's the last score for blue was a 7, so
Wow.
she's definitely safe now.
Yeah, she smashed that. That might be one of the highest scoring waves, not of this heat, but of the whole day.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I need to double check that, but Santos getting rewarded for those 2 big backhand whacks. Rihanna Rosenbaum, she's up in the next heat, just cycling up. That's so smooth, such clean offshore conditions.
Yeah,
here.
but don't let the cleanness of the wind actually.
Yep, it's still cold and it's brisk.
Yes.
And it's not that inviting, but we see out the back, splitting the peak. This is a recap. So we saw Zitla off to a strong start, as we said. She just looked like she wanted this.
Yeah.
A lot of body language.
A lot of fire in that.
Santos came back. Already that first turn, she sensed she had it in her. She just didn't quite finish off that one, but we saw Zitla she's just staying busy, just trying to stay in the game.
Yeah.
But it's this last wave of Santos. This one here, I think this is the biggest wave score of the day.
Our first one was the power.
Shows you what you got to do to get a 7. I would say not a whole lot at this stage.
Yeah.
So you just got to get out there. If you can get vertical, throw a bit of spray on the open face, you're going to get some big numbers. Judges understand that it's tricky out here, and they're rewarding any type of sort of full-blooded turns that you can get away.
Yeah, because with the offshore wind, it's actually quite tricky to do turns on the lip, and I find it backside is a bit easier, but front side a lot of the times you'll see throughout the day if the wind carries on that a lot of people get hanged on the top. This was just a last wave of
She
blue.
goes again. Good style. 90 seconds on the clock, and she's consolidating what's been a pretty
nice.
really strong heat from Santos. What's on for the rest of the day? Hopkins, what's going on? You're number 8 serves, 4 mile run.
Yeah,
few push-ups.
training overall, just time in the wood and like physical training.
Yep.
Just trying to keep busy.
Nice.
And obviously hanging out with you guys.
Yeah, mate, come in the booth anytime you want.
I love it.
The only thing, I don't think there's anything more than Douglas likes is free, free labour. That's what this whole edifice is built on. So, yeah, you want to come in and talk turkey, please do. And it's great to have your insights from a competitor that's in the event and one of the Portuguese top surfers going for those all-important Challenger Series. Hey, did you start to eye off who you got in your heats yet? Do you have a look that far ahead, or you just...
What do you mean?
Like, you don't look at who you're surfing against, potentially, or does
you got to beat pretty much everyone to get to win it, so... I have seen the heat draws and kind of did some math in my head.
Right.
But nothing too specific, just staying in the moment.
Heat by heat.
Heat by heat.
Yeah, as we see. Zitla looking at that one. She lost the paddle battle at the back. Santos now 8 seconds on the clock. Looks like we are all over for this particular heat. Tabai running out of time.
Yeah.
And we see Santos and Zitla progress through to the next round, where they may come up against Yolanda Hopkins. We'll see. Lilius Tabai just missing out on that one. The girls coming in. Job done there for Santos. So she'll be happy with that. One of the highest heat totals of the day so far. So strong surfing from her.
She's a local girl. She knows this wave.
Yeah, local Caparica. So she's got a bit of local knowledge and a fair amount of style and a fair amount of confidence. Boards look good. So Santos laying down a marker early, which is what you want to do. Right now, though, we're going to go for a short commercial break. We're going to come back with more live action. Thank you, Landa, for all your insight and your help. And we'll see you back in the booth soon. Good luck for the rest of the event.
See ya, man.
And we'll come back right after this break.
Since I left my home.
Almada, território de muitos.
In the studio for the call, Johnny myself, Paul Evans. We'll bring in Jose Ferreira to break it all down. And mate, we're just going to keep on rolling with these women's heats.
Yeah, conditions are, intercalating between some heats there's a bit more movement, some heats there's a little less movement. We just started we just in the fourth heat of the round of 56, the women's.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up this round with Rihanna Rosenbaum out of Belgium, Emily Curry from Bude in Cornwall, Great Britain, Lilou Rumiel from France. So 3 surfers in the water, 2 will advance. Let's see how these 3 can make the best out of small, underpowered conditions, very brisk offshore winds as well. And I tell you what, it is fresh out there, mate. You find a little bit of shelter, maybe our contest structure, and you can kind of get a good view of the spot out of the wind, but when you're kind of standing on that beach exposed,
freezing.
It cuts into you. Let's check out a strong paddle from Emily Curry on the backhand. Good looking wave from Emily. Couple of quick turns, keeping the momentum. Multiple maneuvers from her.
Well done.
And just tagging it several times. This was Rihanna Rosenbaum.
Nice first snap. And finishes off. So this heat got off to a good start.
You see it kind of multiple in-between waves pretty much consistently throughout, and it seems like each of these 20-minute sets we're going to get maybe 1 or 2 of those bigger sets, and the different sort of scoring opportunity between the sets and the in-between ones is marked, isn't it? And it really is about, obviously you got to deliver the surfing, but trying to find one of those kind of bomb set waves.
Yeah, I find myself saying in a day like this, you catch a good wave and you're off to the next round, but kind of always say that in competition, right? Like catching the good waves, it's key, especially at this level. But a day like today, and this is what I find myself always saying, a day like today, that's a priority to catch the good ones. And Emily Curry from England just did that.
Yeah, getting a decent number in of a 3 for her, so a reasonable number in terms of the way the scoring's going today. Rihanna Rosenbaum did slightly better than that with that 417. So early knockings in this one is with our surfer out of Belgium. Meanwhile, here's Emily Curry once again, finding herself a left in live action. Keeping that energy the same, not trying to do too much on the turn, so just kind of finishing off, keeping it casual.
Yeah, she's kind of loose on her board, and her movements are pretty fluid, and she's found her flow here. The board looks good, bigger board. She's in first place, so she's off to a pretty nice start here. Let's see what this heat unfolds to, but it's good. It's good in the day like today to start off strong, so you have time to then wait for the good waves, and yeah, that's a good strategy.
Slight improvement for Emily, 3-2-3 in for her second wave. And good enough for the lead so far as our drone pilot Ruben picks up beautiful images. You can see those shallow sandbars. There's not a lot of water out there. Here goes Emily again on the forehand this time. A little zipper of a wave, and it'll just run away from her. Those smaller ones are pretty quick, as we saw that sort of shallow sand formation from above. And, well, when you're talking maybe 2 feet of water and around about 1 to 2 feet as well, they can get pretty quick and straight onto that inside. There are corners available on the bigger sets when they come through under priority. However, it's worth just having a little swing. That's what Emily was trying to do there. At the moment, good enough for a lead in this one. But tell you what, we talk about kind of getting into your heat and surfing to sort of getting some scores on the board. But with 20-minute heat, say, pretty much as soon as you've really got a couple of waves and the scores have come through,
it's 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's kind of time's running out.
Yeah. Runs like crazy, especially when you're losing. 20-minute heat, it's not as common these days to have 20-minute heats. We usually have 25, but in the first rounds, in the opening rounds, when the competition has a lot of rounds and a lot of days, it is usable, and the same for everyone. But it looks like Rosenbaum on this one.
She's got a corner. Our server out of Belgium. On the forehand, nice snap from her. Big spray, good aggression. Hits the lip again. I wanted her to stick that second turn, and that will be deemed incomplete. But the first turn was aggressive. It was fiery. It was sparky. And that will be an improvement from her. And I reckon she'll go back to first. She's got a 4.17 already. Let's get a look at this first maneuver here. I liked it.
Yeah, bottom turn, puts her rail in, puts some leg work there, and then finally, unfortunately, she couldn't make that last one. Would have been important, but she has the best score of this heat. So she only needs a 2.06 to go to first place. And she gets it, 4 points for that first snap. So I think, Paul, that's what the judges are looking for. Powerful turns, a bit more of expression and aggression. And Emily has been really fluid, but not really putting those, those money turns.
I like an energized approach, though. I think it's a good tactic from Emily. Just catch waves. Don't want to be too patient out there. We mentioned how quick the time goes by, but you're looking for sort of perfection. It's not going to come. You've got to be sort of pragmatic about what the ocean is offering. And Emily just deciding, with just 3 surfers in the water, there will be lots of opportunities. She's deciding to take them. I like it.
Yeah,
not going to be a big number there, but one of these days, one of these ones going to open up. In the meantime, speaking of taking opportunities, Carolina Santos dominant in the last heat, and she's standing by for a chat.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Carolina. That was really great. How are you feeling?
Thank you. I'm feeling great. I'm kind of at home here. I've been living here the past 2 years, and the waves are a little small, but there's a couple.
And you're happy that the girls aren't going to run today because you have class in the afternoon, right?
Yeah, I have classes in the afternoon, so it's fortunate that the girls are not on for the afternoon, and that way I can go.
We've got a lot of girls that are studying at the same time while competing. How do you manage to study and compete at the same time?
I'm living close to the beach. I live like 2 minutes away walking from the beach, so it's fine. I just try to stay focused and do everything, and try to surf when it's good and study when I have to, and that's it.
And go for a little free surf during recess?
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, and we'll see you in the next round.
Thank you.
Thanks, Joanna. Good job, Carolina Santos. Zay, did you have much trouble doing your homework, mate, when the surf was good?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I can picture you as being quite studious, quite a good student.
Well,
I've got you down as kind of like, I don't know, teacher's pet almost.
It's
Apple for teacher.
Don't judge the cover by its book.
Don't
I was
pigeonhole
never.
me.
No, I was always average, an average student.
That's a good way to be, mate. Average is fine.
Yeah.
That's what I say to myself.
I never failed a year, so that's. But just when the waves were good, and when I was a kid, and my mom made me study. I couldn't study because I was too anxious and thinking about the surf. But it's actually not easy. Well, usually people. The normal, at least in Europe, when you're 18, you have to decide if you're going to be a professional surfer or if you're going to do university. It's so hard to do both at the same time. But I think there's a few guys that did it. I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I think Connor Coffin did uni or something like that. I'm not sure, and I heard that Julian also did something. So it's it's doable, but it's very hard. If you have an option like Carolina, where you're 2 minutes away from the beach, and then so you can surf in between studies or lunch breaks or whatever, that's the easiest.
8.5 remaining in this one. Rihanna Rosenbaum, our surfer out of Belgium at the moment with a couple of fours, good enough for the lead over the Englishwoman Emily Curry. She's got a 6.23 total for a pair of threes. Lilou Romiel out of France at the moment. Nothing really on the board for Lilou. She wants to get her skates on. Strong fishing scene as ever in Portugal. We're never very far away from a fishing boat. And it's out here at Caparica. It's kind of traditional vessel that we sometimes see beached, actually. So a few beach launches going slightly further south, as Chico was explaining in the previous heat. So it actually gets a little sheltered as you head down, which is kind of counterintuitive to what you might expect. It looks like it's more exposed, but a little less wave action as we head south from here at Caparica. And you see those traditional, kind of slightly smaller fishing vessels, kind of beached. It's not something you see loads of on the Atlantic coast in Europe. Traditionally, it's obviously on our Atlantic coast, quite a lot of waves, so normally, you know, we do need the use of harbours and stuff like that, but keeping our traditional fishing practices down here. That is looking south towards a beautiful cape with a lighthouse down there. Mundy and I went visiting down there last year's day. We went to the lighthouse, we checked out, there's some Roman sort of fortifications down there. There's even a place you can buy little gems and crystals and quartz and all that stuff. Great day out. A good time was had by all.
Yeah.
Took a little picnic.
This area has a lot of history. Those rocks have seen a lot of things, and it's beautiful. That little piece of land we see there in the left corner of our screen is called Cabo Espichel. So when you turn that corner, you start arriving in Setúbal, which is you know, a city here. Very beautiful with a port.
And the climate kind of gets Mediterranean, right? When you get around that corner.
Exactly. There's dolphins.
Facing south, it's nice and warm, beautiful. In fact, I wouldn't mind a trip down there this afternoon. Meanwhile, here at Caparica, Joanna Garnell, well, she's an inquisitive spirit. She's out and about on a fact-finding mission. What have you got, Joanna?
Yeah, I'm just thinking about showing you a tour of our competition site. Right over there we have our judges' little hut where they have the first row to the whole competition, the surfers in the water. And before they go into the water, they're going to go through here. This is the athlete area. Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest, where all our athletes sign up before their heat, where they can get some exercise just before their heat. And right here, the beach marshal will give their vests before they go into the water. Right here, we got a bunch of them just chilling. And yeah, that's the whole atmosphere. Right now we're going to go on hold until 1:45, so there's not a lot of action happening in here, but it's usually pretty packed with a lot of people just warming up before their heat. And right there, over there, we got the vests. So our athlete would come up here and say their name, sign up, and we'll give them their jersey for the heat.
All right, live action. Let's check out Emily Curry swinging on the forehand. I thought that Joanna Garnell was going to go and find Mundy having a little nap, because I know sometimes he likes to get the bean bags, doesn't he? And he makes a little cozy area. And he does need a couple of naps.
A little sauna.
Ben. Yeah, he does need a couple to keep him going throughout a long day. And I thought she was going to rumble him. But, well, it's a long week. Plenty of that good stuff yet to come. Let's check out Lilou Rumiel on the backhand. And she belts one. And trying to get into this heat with under 5 to go. She's had nothing so far. Score to come in. Well, score drops in for Emily Curry. Doesn't threaten the top two. It will be a throwaway of a 2.93. So it's as we were. But let's have a look at this effort. It is much better stuff from the Frenchwoman.
Yeah, loose on her board. Turns well here. She was able to put some rail, but then she just got caught up. The wave kind of died there. And Emily, she keeps on going. Look at this. The board is really helping, really good board selection, and she's loose and she's fluid, so I'm liking to see Emily. Boats right there. Yeah, as you were saying, the fishing scene in Costa da Caparica is very traditional, very cultural. Well, throughout the Portuguese coast, actually. But yeah, it's a beautiful site. If you're in Lisbon or if you're in Costa da Caparica, as you were saying, just reinforcing it to the south side. The fishermen put their nets early morning, in the night, and in the afternoon they go and pick it up. It's an experience to see that really traditional stuff.
let's check out the story of this one, how it's gone down. We're wrapping up the round of 56 for our women's QS 1000 action. Just 3 surfers out in the lineup. Emily Curry from Cornwall doing good work early on.
Like a trampoline, so really appreciate that. But Rihanna here just putting some different kind of spice on her surfing. Yeah, this was a really good turn. Unfortunately, she couldn't finish off, but she has the 2 best waves of this heat, so she's happy.
That's the way things have gone down in this one. Rosenbaum and Curry, you're 1-2 right now. Rumiel making, well, a little move. But is it going to be too little, too late? She gets a 2 for her last effort. She's looking for a 4-2-3 now. She's only ridden 2 waves in this. She's been really quiet. There hasn't been loads of opportunity for these 3. As we'll pick up a paddle here from Lilu. Uninterested. That one will zip along. It's a smaller one. Slips underneath her. And she, from 3rd priority, has got a little bit of a, not a mountain to climb, but quite a steep hill to climb. That woman there has put in a commanding performance. And anytime you surf in a sort of constricted time format and you're surfing in pretty marginal conditions, getting in that strong start so important. That's what she's done. She's also got priority as well as the lead. She's got herself a decent looking right-hander here. Gets the speed, and she'll go into the lip with a quick hit, and wow, with quite a lot of time left on the clock here, she'll just bring this one back in. So well over a minute to go. Interesting decision to come in. She thinks, okay, I've scored my points, I'm back in.
Yeah, it's like 2 4s in a day like today. It's like having 2 8s almost, or in the heat, you know, slower heat.
So always just kind of heading towards that little closeout turn. She gets that done. She'll get it complete. It will be a throwaway number for her. Well, I think maybe she's realised there's still a bit of time to go, and possibly someone in her corner has gone, get back out there. There's still a minute to go. So she's going to head back out to sea. By the time she reaches the lineup, it will be around about 30 seconds, and it will be Emily Curry with the priority, and also with 1 foot in that next round. Lilu Rumiel still looking for a number, a 4-2-3. She's been awfully quiet in this. Can she get a bit of elbow room? Can she find a wave? I'm not sure. There's loads coming through. Let's see how this one plays out. And in the early stage of this, there's a lot of rounds yet to come. It's all about survival out here. Staying alive, putting yourself into the next round. As we deal with, well, a forecast that offers a bit of everything. Got on offshores, onshores, smaller conditions coming up tomorrow. Then it gets a little bit chunkier again towards the end of the week. That's going to wrap things up for this one. No more action to bring you. And it will be Rosenbaum who went to the beach, paddled back out just to make sure she controlled things from the lineup. Smile from Emily Curry. Those 2 will advance. Yeah, and that'll wrap up our women's opening round. So just 8 heats surfed this morning, and it's been kind of small day. We've had flashes of brilliance, but not loads of high excitement really in terms of the surfing action.
Yeah, well, our surfers did really well, but you know, the conditions are definitely slowing down. That's why we're also going on a break. Outside that, the surfing was very nice for the conditions we have, but you know, surfers can't really make miracles.
Rosenbaum getting good work done. She'll be back to surf in the next round whenever that is on. We're going to go to a quick break. We'll be right back.
Almada, território de muitos.
And welcome back to live coverage of the Estrella Galicia Caparica Surf Fest 2022. South side of Lisbon, nestled between the jetties. Finds shapely sandbars, not loads of swell on offer this morning, but we've gone through 8 heats of competition. We're actually going to go on a little hold right now, so around about an hour and a half till our next call, 12:45 local. We'll be back for another call here. So lower tide, a little bit smaller, and a pretty good decision just to have a little pause and see what's happening this afternoon, Zay.
Yeah, the waves are slowing down a little bit, but we did get some good action this morning. You know, when you're doing the QS, you really have to be ready for everything, and this morning is just another proof of that. We had a lot of good moments anyway, good surfing. We have a lot of heats to go down. We have swell on the way on the horizon for the next days, not tomorrow, but after that. So, exciting stuff.
Yeah, crucially, of course, you know, we talk about that qualification story as well on the QS and Challenger Series. Well, that's coming up. Really, this is the last chance in this event. It's one event for the women, 2 for the men. In terms of getting some points on the board, a little bit of pressure as well added to things. It's all about making it through, surviving rounds. So far, we've seen a couple of decent performances in this. We know there's a lot more yet to come.